Brother Gu, you really have some luck, Lin Ziasu said. I found it. Did you find a clue, or did you find the person? Found the person, Lin Ziasu said, right there in the lotus flower. Gu Suixin's heart trembled. Had he really found it? After more than 2 years, crossing thousands of miles, he had indeed connected to this chain of pursuit. His greatest wish, his 2 years of wandering the Jianghu, the ultimate goal was now within reach. There were flowers on the lotus leaves. But the people of this city mostly did not regard this eternal lotus as a flower, but rather as a 1,000-year-old tower by the lake. Even if it's called the Flower Tower. Above the Flower Tower, Gu Suixin said, the Flower Tower in the demon domain has strict rules. One cannot fly over easily. Brother Su, let's disembark and climb the tower. Lin Ziasu nodded gently. The bone boat shrank, transforming into a white bone spike. With a pop, it entered Gu Suixin's ear. This was his method of storing the bone boat, somewhat similar to a certain mythical figure named Sun. No wonder the Heart Pavilion captured him, robbed him of all his money, and left him with a white bone boat. It turns out it was in his ear. Descending to the lakeside, a cool breeze arose, and an unknown fragrance wafted in. It was refreshing and uplifting. The two climbed the inclined flower stalk, all the way to the tower. The natural patterns on the flower stalk formed natural steps. Ordinary people could also ascend it. On both sides of the steps there were many platforms, and on the platforms there were pavilions and towers. Truly, one lotus leaf and one lotus flower had created the ecosystem of a city. Lin Ziasu tried the steps lightly, with the strength that could easily crush ancient stones under his foot, but didn't leave a trace on the steps. This showed that the covering river lotus, one of the 4 legendary ancient trees, was invincibly resilient. This tower, seemingly built on delicate flower stalks, was impervious to wind and rain. There were people speaking ahead. This 10,000 Races music festival is truly a feast for the ears. Of course, yesterday's Spirit Nightingale song, the day before's Charm Demon dance, and the day before that's Peach Demon's flute are all top skills of the 49 departments of the demon domain. What kind of legendary piece will appear today? I've heard it's the Moon Demon Zither. Moon Demon Zither. My God, this is the peerless charming demon who was famous in the demon city 100 years ago. Is it really her? Impossible, wasn't she said to seal her zither for 300 years? Originally, she was to seal it, but it is said she has a friend whose Tao realm is injured and needs the musical Tao spirit fish to traverse and draw the Tao pattern to heal the Tao injury. Out of friendship, she broke her vow to play a piece under today's moon. Musical Tao spirit fish crossing to draw the Tao pattern. The people ahead were all shocked. Can it really be done? This is only possible for the most esteemed musical Tao sages. There is some hope. I've heard that 100 years ago, the moon demon played the moon sacrifice song, which already made the spirit fish traverse, faintly drawing the Tao pattern. Now, after refining her skills for a century, she has entered the realm of mastery and could surpass her performance from 100 years ago. Lin Ziasu and Gu Suixin exchanged glances and saw complex emotions in each other's eyes. Under time-space reversal, the target was currently in the Flower Tower. If nothing changes, they could easily seize it. However, today, there would be changes. The Demon Domain was holding the 10,000 Races Music Festival. The 10,000 Races Music Festival was a grand event in the Demon Domain, showcasing supreme great demons and numerous demon path tycoons in the realm of Tao mastery. If they alarmed them, it would become troublesome. But as things stood, they could only take one step at a time and first lock onto the target. They continued forward. At the top of the lotus flower, a sliver of the setting sun swept over the highest pavilion. The scenery from the high platform was exceedingly beautiful. Inside a pavilion with 4 openwork walls and gently swaying curtains, below the green windowsill stood a delicate tea table. On the tea table, a bamboo pot had already brewed fragrant tea. 2 beautiful women sat opposite each other. The woman on the left strikingly embodied the phrase, "face like a peach blossom." Her cheeks were adorned with 2 flushes, strikingly visible on her perfectly fair complexion. The woman on the right was her opposite. A faint moonlight graced her face, making her appear holy and solemn. If Lin Ziasu saw her, he might sigh and say, fate brings people together unexpectedly. Because this woman was unexpectedly Han Yan, the second saintess of the heavenly capital. Sister Yue, I owe you today. Cheers to you. Han Yan gazed at the gradually setting sun and raised her teacup. Though we're of different races, we're connected through music like sisters. Your wound in the Tao realm is no small matter. For you, sister, I'll make an exception and play a piece. It's only natural. Sister Yue lifted her teacup. Thank you, Sister Yue. Han Yan took a gentle sip of tea. Little Sister Han, I truly don't understand. Who, and through what means, harmed your Tao realm foundation to such an extent, given your musical skills? I'm merely curious, and if you don't wish to speak, that's fine. There's nothing that can't be said, Han Yan replied. The great wilderness dynasty has a third-rank official named Lin Su. He traveled to Jiangnan, aimed his sword at my Hanyu Valley. I returned from the heavenly capital to stop him, and at Moon Lake, his poem Spring River Flower Moon Night touched my Tao platform. Subsequently, the melody of the same name shattered my burial flower song, causing the injury to my Tao realm. Spring River Flower Moon Night, Sister Yue's eyes shone. What kind of melody is it? The melody is absolutely peerless, but unfortunately it wounded me, and music chaos disrupts my spirit platform, preventing me from recreating it for you. But as for the poem, I can show it to you, Han Yan said. Chapter 849, Chapter 694, A Leaf Lifts Up Gui City Part 3. Han Yan raised her hand, and lines of words were formed from her fingertips. The tide of the spring river is level with the sea. The moon on the sea rises with the tide. The moon demon glanced over and couldn't look away. The first stanza, the second stanza, the third stanza. The blush on her face at this moment was like the water of the spring river, gently rippling. The entire poem was completed. The moon demon's face seemed to reflect the imagery of the spring river. She gently exhaled. Such an exquisite poem is truly unimaginable. Among all the poems I've heard in my life, this one stands out as the best. The great wilderness dynasty actually has such officials. Was he a top scholar entering officialdom? No, he had never even appeared in the examinations of the great wilderness before, and his talent in poetry and music is not his main occupation. His primary study is sword Tao, and array path. He's dabbled in that too, perhaps with considerable expertise. Such proficiency in poetry, such proficiency in music, and it's not his main study. Sister Yue gently shook her head. We cannot continue to analyze further. The more we analyze, the more severe your Tao injury might become. Let's block him out first, clear your spirit platform, and when the new moon sets above the lotus tip, that's when I will play the moon sacrifice song. All right, Han Yan took a deep breath and cleansed her spirit platform once more. Suddenly the sky brightened. Red light appeared, and a figure broke through the air. At this moment, the sun had just set on the horizon, with half the sky still covered in colorful clouds. This person flew in from within the clouds, the half sky of colored clouds behind him like his cloak. In the air, he was extremely striking, 7 colored ribbons behind him, blocking the sky and the sun. Others would enter the brothel from the bottom, climbing step by step, but he flew across the sky and landed directly on the highest platform. On the platform, countless people rose from their seats. Greetings to the 19 Prince. Amidst the welcoming voices, the glory around the 19 Prince was retracted, revealing a handsome and graceful young man. His gaze drifted towards the area where Sister Yue and Han Yan were located. The blush on Sister Yue's face was originally dancing with the dynamics of the Spring River Flower Moon Night, but suddenly the dynamics completely vanished, her eyes leaving the platform, falling onto Han Yan's face. She lightly sighed. Sister Yue, what's wrong? This person is rather annoying, Sister Yue said. He is the Demon Emperor's 19th son. Yes, 100 years ago he made inappropriate requests to me. I've refused him at least 10 times, even hiding in Moon Burial Valley to avoid him. Yet now that I've left seclusion, here he comes again. Sister Yue was quite helpless. Han Yan chuckled. It seems my situation is indeed similar to my sister. My heavenly capital great saint son is the same. The moon has just risen, I shall go. Sister Yue slowly stood up. I entrust it to you, sister. Han Yan stood up and respectfully saw her off. Sister Yue stepped into the air, sitting cross-legged above the lake, the moonlight enveloping her, making her appear dreamy and illusory. Having just reached the lotus flower's top, Lin Ziasu, who was still a step away from the peak, suddenly stopped, his expression a bit peculiar. Gu Suixin's gaze landed and a voice drifted past. Brother Su, have you noticed? Noticed an unexpected person. Unexpected person who? Han Yan, Lin Ziasu replied. It's quite interesting. The person seeking the moon demon to play the zither across miles due to her Dao injury was actually her. Gu Suixin's eyes widened too. Her Dao injury, it's because of you. Indeed. The world truly is fascinating, isn't it? Gu Suixin laughed. Next, you might need to assume a disguise otherwise if she discovers that the troublemaker in Jiangnan, Su Lin, has appeared in the demon domain. All those sects behind Jiangnan Road will know you're in the demon domain, and chaos might ensue in our upcoming journey. The phrase chaos might ensue was said rather casually, but with even a little knowledge, one would know that the ensuing chaos would be more than that, right? It's important to understand that the paths of cultivation are interconnected. Perhaps Jiangnan's sects aren't especially strong, but who doesn't have some disciples? Even if there truly aren't any outstanding disciples to join other super sects, don't they still have daughters? Whoever the daughter marries becomes their backing. Lin Ziasu's antics on Jiangnan Road harmed the interests of many. How many wished to see him torn to pieces? In the past, he was surrounded by an army, bearing the title of a third-rank official of the Great Wilderness Dynasty, along with the royal duties akin to an imperial envoy. No one in the Dahuang dared to act against him easily. But once he leaves the Great Wilderness, who wouldn't seize the opportunity? However, Lin Ziasu still shook his head. Afraid of what? Even if there might be someone behind those Jiangnan sects, do I not have anyone behind me? Our ancient sect, are we afraid of anyone? This statement received no response. Turning his head, he saw Gu Suixin with a constipated expression. Finally, this fellow shook his head. Brother, I do admire your audacity, and the ancient sect will definitely support you, but unnecessary troubles if we can avoid them, can't we? All right, just kidding, Lin Ziasu said. Rest assured, the main thing at this stage is still testing. Testing? Testing the reactions of the major sects to me, Su Lin. If a sect truly jumps out, determined to take my life, then I can eliminate them one by one, right? Gu Suixin rolled his eyes. The heavenly capital has already expressed strong hostility towards you. Both holy daughters want to eliminate you quickly. You might as well clear them out. You're wrong about that, Lin Ziasu chuckled softly. The heavenly capital doesn't have such malice towards me, and to me, the heavenly capital isn't an enemy at all. Don't speak too soon. Although for now the heavenly capital might indeed not harbor much malice towards you, that only indicates your weight isn't enough yet. Judging by the growth of your abilities and how you handle facing the heavenly capital, I dare assert that sooner or later your conflicts will become irreconcilable. Chapter 850, Chapter 694, One Leaf Lifts Up Gui City Part 4. Irreconcilable conflict, Lin Ziasu laughed. Do you want me to perform a live demonstration? I'll try to reconcile things with the second saintess. That's absolutely impossible. You raided her home, and she's been injured to the point of seeking medical help thousands of miles away. If you can reconcile with her, I'll crawl sideways 3 times around. Gu Suixin naturally didn't believe it. What if I play a tune for her and heal her Tao wound? Lin Ziasu asked. Gu Suixin's eyes widened. You're going to heal her with music. Please, her injuries were caused by your music. Playing her another tune is like rubbing salt in her wounds. That's why you don't understand the essentials of healing. Do you think rubbing salt in a wound makes it worse? In fact, it's the correct way to treat injuries. Modern medicine truly can't enlighten you. Forget it, let's go. Lin Ziasu strode upward, and at last the final high platform appeared in sight. Gu Suixin followed him up. At the last step, Lin Ziasu stopped suddenly. Gu Suixin also halted, his gaze once again turning to Lin Ziasu's eyes. Do you see it? Lin Ziasu used a single strand of hair, like a finger, pointing toward the center of the high platform. Gu Suixin's heart skipped a beat. This single strand of hair seemed to just drift with the wind. However, he knew clearly that it was a gesture akin to pointing at a target. The direction this strand of hair pointed was a main seat. On the main seat sat an elder from the demon clan, dressed in magnificent clothing, with an extraordinary presence, each breath exuding a sky-reaching demon aura. Next to him, on a slightly lower level, was a female demon. This female demon, at first glance, was unfamiliar to him. But upon closer inspection, familiarity grew those eyes, that expression. They bore more and more resemblance to the demoness he, accidentally, encountered in the small town that day. The aura is very chaotic, unable to fully confirm for the moment. Perhaps we need to get closer, Gu Suixin said. The aura is interfered by that elder. This person is likely a second vessel or even higher. Lin Zaiasu said. But in my investigative network, it's a perfect loop. There's no doubt about this woman's identity. She's the target you're searching for. I believe you, but with this demon nearby, it's absolutely impossible to succeed, Gu Suixin said. Let's get up there first and then take action as the situation unfolds. Just as they were about to truly step onto the platform, suddenly a strand of zither music sounded. The zither music seemed to originate from the lake, yet it came from the sky, as if transmitted from the moon. Lin Zaiasu, already lifting his foot, paused. His gaze shifted, looking at the lake's surface. The person playing the zither on the lake was gone. He looked up at the sky. The musician was now above the moon. A bright moon hung deep in the sky, a figure playing zither in the moon, light robes and long sleeves, resembling Chang from the moon. Just this single image intoxicated the entire city. The gentle music was like celestial tunes, accompanied by moonlight spreading throughout the world, filled with the sorrow of the great Tao, as if this moon had become the eyes of the heavenly palace, watching the joys and sorrows of the mortal world, full of endless compassion. As the music evolved, the bright moon's glow gradually receded, as if shrouded in tears. Inside and outside Gui City, above and below the brothel, millions of people or demons were all enveloped in this sorrow. Tears vaguely shone in their eyes, not knowing when it started. The Moon Sacrifice Song. This is the Moon Sacrifice Song. On the high platform, someone sighed softly. Her whole clan was exterminated, injured for 1,000 years, only to create this tragic moon sacrifice melody. How lamentable. Originally a flower demon, a most benevolent clan, yet exterminated by a heavenly demon. What wrong did her clan commit? What wrong did the bright moon commit? Someone sighed. You too, do not let out such lamentations. The demon emperor does not like it, someone whispered. The demon emperor does not like it, suppressed everyone's emotions at once. Chapter 851, Chapter 695, Sue's version of Burial Flower Song. Yes, the moon demon is from Moon Burial Valley, and her Moon Burial Valley was buried at the hands of the current demon emperor. This woman created the Moon Sacrifice Song, sacrificing her clan and sacrificing the moon. But isn't it an accusation against the demon emperor? 100 years ago, this song debuted and amazed all 49 parts of the demon domain, but it also displeased the demon emperor greatly. Under tremendous pressure, the moon demon vowed to seal her lyre for 300 years. Yet today she broke her vow and re-emerged, bringing the moon sacrifice song to its peak. As a song alone, it is unparalleled. Considering the background against which this song is performed, it is also righteous, to heal a friend's Tao injury. However, it is hard not to speculate whether there is any consideration of her own behind this, such as an accusation aimed at the demon emperor. Above the sky, azure waves shimmer. On the azure waves, light points flicker. The azure waves seem to reflect the Lu Lake beneath them. The light points appear to be spirit fish flying across. An all-encompassing atmosphere of the great Tao emanates from the heavens. Spirit fish fly across, music theory engraving, someone softly exclaims. Indeed, this music theory engraving is so clear. Our music theory has truly broken through. Glimpse the heavenly mechanism, don't miss the destiny. For a moment, countless people sit cross-legged. Inside the pavilion, Han Yan closes her eyes. In her sea of consciousness, waves surge and spirit fish shuttle back and forth. Her once fragmented Tao realm is silently being repaired at this moment. Because she suddenly understood. Her friend sacrificed with the entire clan, 1,000-year moon sacrifice. And it was just a devastating blow to her clan, but her people are all still there. Compared to the moon demon, her injury is nothing. Her Tao injury might truly be cured by this heavenly Tao engraving, or perhaps not, but the moon demon used her own experience to comfort her. Your people are still there. Your obstacle is nothing. At this thought she became enlightened, and her Tao injury was half healed. Brother Su, Lin Zaiasu hears Gu Suixin's voice transmission. Is this woman's music theory truly so high? I see Brother Su is profoundly moved. This woman's music theory is secondary. Her cultivation is incredibly astonishing. Lin Zaiasu says, where the moonlight arrives, it is all sharp blades. If she harbored murderous intent under the moonlight, she could kill with a single thought everyone considered under its glow. This is the difference between an amateur, who enjoys the spectacle, and a professional who understands the path. His heavenly Tao wisdom eye clearly sees two things. First, in fact, the moon demon is not in the sky now. The sky is just her projection, while she is truly on the surface of the lake. Second, the moonlight descending from the sky contains her Tao intentions, truly rendering the moonlight under her ears, eyes, limbs, and hands. With a thought, she could kill any creature under the moonlight. Of course, as a prerequisite, these creatures are those she can kill. This is the true, divine skill of music theory. Music theory is an elegant skill, but when elevated to the Tao realm, it can transform into a lethal weapon. Gu Suixin took a deep breath. Brother Su, you have keen insight indeed. Why does this woman reveal such great divine power in front of so many masters? Is it to demonstrate against the demon emperor? Perhaps it really has such implications. Lin Ziasu says, the ironic thing is, the demon emperor's 19 prince still wishes to get close to her. The pursuit of the moon demon by the demon emperor's 19 prince is, of course, a topic discussed among those present, conveying the message to the two of them. The lyre music fades. The lyre music lowers. Yet the more distant and lower it gets, the more the contained melancholy moves the heart. The bright moon above the sky seemingly transforms into an eye. In the eye, a tear trembles, ready to fall. Finally, the last note fades into the sky, and the tear drops, landing on top of the pavilion. On the pavilion, a circle of engravings ripple like a spring river, crashing into Han Yan's spirit platform. Her spirit platform's dust has cleared by half. Her Tao injury healed 60%. Bravo, standing atop the pavilion, everyone exclaims. An unparalleled music theory, enjoy another 100 years of legend. Someone shouts excitedly. The 10,000 Races Music Festival has reached its peak now. For a moment atop the pavilion, throughout the city, cheers erupt unanimously. The demon emperor's 19 prince tidies up his attire, preparing to head to the pavilion to greet his goddess and celebrate the victory of the performance. At this moment, Lin Ziasu and Gu Suixin step onto the elevated platform. Beside the platform, two demon clan guards simultaneously raise their hands. High-end gathering, idle people stop, blocking their ascent. Lin Ziasu says calmly, the 10,000 Races Music Festival rejects musicians from ascending. His voice is quite loud. Half the people in the pavilion suddenly direct their gaze onto his face. Musician, the guards also pause slightly. The musicians for this festival hadn't stayed on the elevated platform for 7 days and 7 nights already. How could it be possible for a musician to ascend the platform at this moment? You are from the human clan. Yes. This is the Demon Domain Music Festival. No invitation was extended to human clan musicians. I originally didn't intend to ascend the platform, but after hearing the Moon Demon's Moon Sacrifice song, I was moved deeply, wishing to offer a song to the Moon Demon, to connect through music. Unbeknownst to me, would the Moon Demon be willing to be a kindred spirit in music with me? Just having reached the pavilion, the Moon Demon suddenly turns her head. Through the window, she sees Lin Ziasu's face. A young man of striking beauty. Han Yan was holding onto the tail of the music theory engraving, earnestly treating her injuries, hoping to heal as much as possible. When she suddenly hears these words, she abruptly opens her eyes, staring at Lin Ziasu through the window. Her spirit platform violently shakes. Su Lin. With the utterance of Su Lin's name, the Moon Demon's eyes gleam brightly. He is the one who heavily damaged you with a song, Spring River Flower Moon Night. Su Lin. It's him, the damn scoundrel. Han Yan grinds her teeth in resentment. Chapter 852, Chapter 695, Su's version of Burial Flower Song. What is this? Rushing thousands of miles to stab her. This lady doesn't provoke you, and yet you still come. For a moment, her mind was filled with distracting thoughts, and the Tao wounds that were almost healed seemed to retreat again in that instant. The Moon Demon found it difficult to handle for a while. Within her heart, she hoped that Su Lin would perform Spring River Flower Moon Night once again, so she could experience the legendary masterpiece this human friend spoke so highly of. But she was rational. She knew her friend was gravely hurt by his Spring River Flower Moon Night, and at this critical juncture, she couldn't withstand a second blow. At this moment, someone stepped forward. The 19th son of the Demon Emperor stepped forward. Do you even deserve to be the musical confidant of the Moon Demon? Get lost. With a sudden spread of his hands, the overwhelming demonic power of the heavenly patrol demon Eagle surged forth. Direct expulsion. If everyone present was thrilled to hear the music, and willing to listen to the human clan musician's music skills again. He certainly was not. Because his words were unpleasant. What does it mean to discuss music with the moon demon? What does it mean to be a musical confidant? Don't you see I'm waiting on the side? The musical goddess I've been pining for wasn't for some unknown boy to covet. When the unparalleled demonic power of the heavenly patrol demon eagle was unleashed, dozens of people behind Lin Zaiasu were thrown into the air, directly falling from the lotus flower's top. However, Lin Zaiasu's hair lightly fluttered, standing firm as a rock. His facial expression didn't change in the slightest, as he raised a hand, producing a long flute. The fairy resembles the moon in the sky. I am but a worldly man, offering a song of the Jianghu burial flower song. The sound of the flute began, resembling flowers flying in the sky. With just the start of a note, it went straight into the mind and heart. The hearts of all present simultaneously leapt. All those present were musical heavenly prides, knowing the realm upon hearing the sound. With just a single blow of the flute, the natural pitch and emotional control were already perfected to mastery. In the attic, the heart of the moon demon and Han Yan also leapt. The tune he played now wasn't the Spring River Flower Moon Night that had injured Han Yan, but rather Burial Flower Song. What does this mean? Burial Flower Song was too sensitive. The tune Han Yan played against him at Moon Lake that day was also called Burial Flower Song, a rendition of the Zhanghua technique, one of the 7 great battle skills of Tiandu, by Han Yan using music theory. Yet today he came to Gui City in the demon domain, playing the Burial Flower Song, while Han Yan's Dao injury was unhealed. What does it mean? To crush again in Han Yan's proudest domain. Was his intention to drive Han Yan into complete despair? No wonder these 2 girls had this thought. From the perspective of an adversary, this was indeed the ultimate strategy against an enemy. First, defeat you with your own moves, then defeat you with the means you are best at. This is what it means to kill the body, beat the heart. In an instant, the moon demon and Han Yan both raised their guard. However, as soon as the Burial Flower Song began, they were all stunned. This wasn't Han Yan's Burial Flower Song. This tune, amidst its twists, carried a sense of destiny. This tune contained hope amidst its sorrow. Even if this hope was as thin as a cicada's wing, it was still subtly sustained within the notes of the music theory. It's precisely this unique emotion of sadness without despair that set this piece apart from the start. Even more incredibly, the words emerged from his flute, arranging themselves around him. It was a long poem. Flowers fade and flowers fly all over the sky. Who pities the scent and red gone away? Soft silks gently tie the spring pavilion. Light cotton fluffs softly touch the embroidered curtain. Oh my God! The moon demon's eyes widened. Han Yan also stood gazing at this long poem in a daze. On the high tower, people throughout the city were staring in a daze. This was a musical marvel they'd never seen before, playing the flute while also pairing it with lyrics. And the paired lyrics were wondrous verses, never heard or seen before. Each word fragrant to the bone, each character soaked in literary aroma. Is this the elegance of human scholars? Is this the mystical mechanism that haunts the souls of the clan's women? In the boudoir, girls cherish the end of spring, filled with sorrow with nowhere to resolve, holding a flower hoe to step out of the embroidered curtain, reluctant to tread over fallen flowers again. Willow threads and elm pods bloom fragrantly, not caring if peaches and plums drift by. Peaches and plums can blossom again next year, but who knows who will be in the boudoir next year? In the attic, the moon demon was completely stunned. Is this poetry? Of course. But is it just poetry? No. This is that part of history. This was once her home. She was a flower demon. Whether mentioned as peach or plum in his poetry, they were all her sisters. In a catastrophe, her loved ones were all lost. In Moon Burial Valley, she came back alone, personally burying her brothers, sisters, parents, and family. At that moment, gazing at ordinary peaches and plums that would still bloom, she once asked the earth and the sky if peaches and plums could bloom again next year, who would remain in the boudoir next year. No more. Peaches and plums that bloom again will only be peaches and plums. The departed family are in the cycle of reincarnation. 2 lines of tears silently streamed down. Line by line, the long poem flowed, obscured in her tear-filled eyes. She gently wiped away the tears, seeing the last few lines emerging from his flute. At heaven's end, where's the fragrant mound? Better to gather the beautiful bones in a brocade bag, cover the elegance with a handful of turbid earth, naturally pure and return pure, better than sinking into filth in a ditch. Now I bury flowers, people laugh at my folly. Who will know who buries me in the future? Look, as spring ends, flowers gradually fall, is the time beauty faces death. Once spring ends and beauty ages, flowers fall, people die, none know. The poem ends, and the music is silent. Lin Zaiasu sighed deeply, the long poem before him turning into a ground full of fallen flowers. The fallen flowers descended into the pool below, countless spirit fish leaping out of the water. On the water's surface, engraved with marks of the great Tao, sharp as if carved by knives, they emitted boundless heavenly light. Chapter 853, Chapter 695, Sue's version of Burial Flower Song. This path includes musical theory, literary theory, and even the brilliance of humanity. Spirit fish leaping from the water, someone exclaimed. Spirit fish emerging, turning illusion into reality. This is the highest level of musical theory. Oh my, what have we witnessed? A heavenly pride of the human clan achieving the pinnacle at the 10,000 Races Music Festival in the Demon Domain. For a moment, exclamations filled the city. On the high platform, everyone was staring at Lin Zaiasu. Some were shocked, others were mesmerized. The shocked were the giants of musical theory, the mesmerized were the talented women of the Demon Domain. In the Demon Domain, there had long been a rumor that human literati were the ultimate embodiment of elegance, yet many geniuses found this hard to accept, including those demon clan women deemed unparalleled in talent. However, today, at the highest pinnacle of the Demon Domain, the sudden appearance of this human talent, with a sublime musical theory and an unparalleled ancient poem, had become the most thrilling legend in their hearts. Inside the pavilion, Han Yan slowly opened her eyes, disbelief filling her gaze. There were 2 points of disbelief. First, her Tao injury seemed to have almost completely healed. Why? Because she discovered a shortcoming in her initiation song, Burial Flower Song. Her Burial Flower Song was the sorrow of the heavenly Tao. But his rendition of the Burial Flower Song was the sorrow of the human path. The sorrow of the heavenly Tao was indifferent to worldly matters, lacking humanity, while the sorrow of the human path was more grounded, imbued with humanity, thus with hope. She resonated with this Burial Flower Song. She suddenly felt her Tao realm had become much more fulfilled. The other point of disbelief, she witnessed the tears of the Moon Demon. The Moon Demon always had a smile on her face, never seen without it by the world, but today her smile vanished and tears appeared. Han Yan naturally knew why. It was also because of resonance. This resonance was different from hers. Han Yan resonated with humanity, while she resonated with history. Sister Han Yan, the Moon Demon softly said, your Tao injury seems to have completely healed. As she spoke, the tears on her face miraculously disappeared. Yes, perhaps today his flute was not antagonistic towards me, rather a compliment to my Burial Flower Song. Therefore, the better the flute, the more beneficial it is to me, Han Yan said. Perhaps you should trust the earthly saying, only the person who tied the bell can untie it, the Moon Demon said. If possible, get acquainted with him through music, become a pair of musical soulmates, then maybe your second vessel will come quickly. Han Yan's heart raced, but he chose you. Do you really think he didn't notice your presence? Do you really think he chose the Burial Flower Song merely by chance? When I enveloped this area in moonlight, I felt his deep exploration of you. This song is actually a gift for you. He does not wish to see you forever wounded. Everyone present at this moment gazed at Lin Zaiasu with kindness. Perhaps there was only one exception. His heart fumed with rage. This person was naturally the 19th Prince. He was actually already in front of Lin Zaiasu, merely 3 meters away. He was driven by the fundamental idea not to leave a bad impression on the Moon Demon, thus refrained from rudely driving this person out immediately. But he made a fatal mistake. This person's song and poem had shaken the entire Demon Domain. He had even seen the Moon Demon's tears. Those tears were too dangerous. Boy, how dare you recklessly disrupt at my sacred music festival in the Demon Domain? How can this king tolerate you? As the voice fell, his claw suddenly turned into a sharp one, ready to strike down. This strike wasn't just to drive him out. It was to directly claim Lin Zaiasu's life. At the instant before it fell, a person suddenly appeared in front of him, none other than the Moon Demon who had been in the pavilion moments ago. Moon Demon this king, 19 Prince's hand halted. Lin Zaiasu raised his head suddenly. His expression at this moment was very complicated. The Moon Demon had blocked the 19 Prince's attack, originally wording how to say the first sentence to him when she suddenly sensed an unusual aura from the sky. Following Lin Zaiasu's gaze, her expression suddenly changed. In the sky, there was a giant hand, and behind it, a thick fog. This giant hand had 6 fingers, with a peach blossom eye in its palm. Kang Wu, the face of the twin-headed demon clan giant sitting at the top, changed abruptly. With a loud bang, everyone on the high platform stood up, their expressions simultaneously altered. Kang Wu, the divine beast that oversees the heavenly abyss. Regardless of whether you are human, demon, god, or dynasty deep hall, under this eye, you must behave. To dare cross boundaries, to evade its surveillance is treated as disrespect towards Kang Yuan. Kang Yuan is not so forgiving. Those who dare disrespect are obliterated. No matter who you are. Everyone, do not act rashly. Calmly welcome Kang Wu's probe. The giant of the demon clan on the high platform issued a stern warning. With these words, everyone dared not move. Motionless, they welcomed Kang Wu's probe. Anyway, as long as you haven't done anything outrageous, let Kang Wu watch if it wants. This is the basic law of self-preservation. Kang Wu descended like a giant dragon trailing an invisible tail, slowly approaching the high platform. Lin Zaiasu's heart skipped violently. Others can face Kang Wu calmly, but only he cannot. Why? Because he had shattered Kang Wu's eye in the heavenly abyss. The eye of Kang Wu in essence only watches. You let it watch, no problem at all, as in Kang Yuan's sight, even the ebb and flow of imperial authority means nothing to it. What big secrets could you possibly have that could not be seen? Chapter 854, Chapter 695, Su's version of Burial Flower Song. However, Lin Zaiasu was unaware of this. He saw these mysterious eyes suddenly rise from the abyss, approaching him, and instinctively responded by directly piercing the eyeball with a sword. This stab brought great trouble. The Eye of Prying transformed instantly into a terrifying onslaught that almost prevented him from escaping the heavenly abyss. Fortunately, the array activated just in time, allowing him to escape. And now he had entered the ancient wilderness, being watched by such eyes again. He dared not gamble whether this Kang Wu was the same as the one from the heavenly abyss before, nor could he gamble on whether the Kang Wu had some special information-sharing mechanism. The probability was high. Because he clearly saw in those peach blossom eyes, a murderous light was awakening. "What's going on, Brother Su? It seems Kang Wu is coming for you," Gu Suixin's voice came. Look, even he saw it. There was no mistake then. Lin Zaiasu's mind raced. "Brother Gu, our chance has come, get ready." "Chance? I'll create a big chaos. You take action amidst the chaos, seize your mystic armor and hurry to escape." Gu Suixin quivered all over. His sensing power instantly maxed out, capturing the position of his mystic armor. At this moment, the attention of the super expert was all focused on Kang Wu, weakening his guard on the woman beside him, giving him this chance. Once he captured the chi of the mystic armor, he transmitted to Lin Zaiasu, locked on. Very good. As Lin Zaiasu's voice fell, his primordial spirit suddenly left his body. In this out-of-body experience, he directly dived into the sea of consciousness of the 19 Prince in front of him. The 19 Prince's entire body shivered violently. As soon as his primordial spirit appeared, Lin Zaiasu's primordial spirit sliced down with a sword. Puff! His primordial spirit was destroyed. Lin Zaiasu's primordial spirit took control of this body. Meanwhile, Kang Wu was only 10 jang from the high building, the murderous light in its eyes firmly locked onto Lin Zaiasu. At that moment, the 19 Prince suddenly leaped up, instantly covering the 10 jang space. A claw shot out. With a muffled sound, the eyeball ruptured. The 19 Prince roared in anger. "What is that Kang Yuan bastard, daring to be presumptuous in front of me? If you piss me off, my heavenly demon team will flatten your Kang Yuan." A thunderous tremor resounded, heavens moved together, and an extremely terrifying storm swept over. The supergiant demon on the main seat shuddered all over. 19 Prince, you fool, are you trying to get your father killed? He ascended rapidly. At the moment he took off, a sharp claw emerged from the clouds above. This strike was truly like a divine retribution. Meanwhile, Gu Suixin besides Lin Zaiasu suddenly flickered. 100 Zhang space flashed by, straight to the main seat. The woman on the main seat was focused on the sky, but suddenly sensed a sharp killing intent. An illusory shadow of the six-winged demon eagle flickered on her forehead, and she stood tall. When she stood up, she directly collided with Gu Suixin. Gu Suixin's hand suddenly raised. Tear. The woman's clothes split open, revealing a piece of skin on her back distinctly different from her own flesh. Gu Suixin tore this piece of skin straight off. Blood splattered. The elder in midair made a breaking move. The cloud's claw retreated, and he suddenly heard the woman scream from behind. The elder was about to turn back. Suddenly the sky brightened. The clouds of thousands of miles transformed into a sword. As the sword's light appeared, a world-destroying killing intent enveloped the entire Gui city. The elder was shocked and cried out, "Immortal Master Kang Yuan, please hear my word." Swish! The sword slashed down. The elder was split in two. Behind him, the 19 Prince of the Demon Emperor was split in two. Beneath them, the Fujiang Lotus, untouched by wind and rain for millennia, was split in two. The sword's light was inescapable and unstoppable, directly splitting the totemic Fujiang Lotus of the entire Gui city from top to bottom, dividing the water of Lu Lake in half as well. The two halves of the divided Lu Lake water bizarrely ceased to flow together. The sword mark carried an unparalleled spatial power. In the space, a willow leaf flew up, soared into the sky, and disappeared out of thin air. The moon demon stared dumbfoundedly at the sky. Everyone atop the brothel was petrified with shock. Chapter 855. Chapter 696. Seizing opportunity amid chaos to enter the ancient divine ruins. Silently, Han Yan's figure flickered, descending from the attic and landing beside the moon demon. Her face turned slightly pale at this moment. Space Sword Tao. The moon demon took a deep breath. A single willow leaf, killing across space. This is the Kang Yuan Liui from the Kang Yuan 13 gang. Kang Yuan Liui, exactly what realm has his cultivation reached? Being able to kill across space, even if not Jai San, is enough to be compared with Jai San, said the moon demon. Your heavenly capital also has Jai San. Perhaps you don't find it remarkable, but you must understand, he is only the 8th among the Kang Yuan 13 gang. Is this 8th ranked by strength? Han Yan asked. Yes, besides, the Kang Yuan 13 gang is merely a sharp blade under Kang Yuan to suppress the world, not representing all of Kang Yuan's strength. Han Yan's complexion finally changed. 1 abyss, 3 sects, 6 paths, 9 gates. The heavenly capital is the leader among the 3 sects following the 1 abyss. The heavenly capital also holds Jai San. Heaven and earth don't care. For a long period, she habitually regarded her sect as the ultimate in the cultivation path. However, today Kang Yuan suddenly struck. Only a single willow leaf drifted down gently, tearing all her confidence into shreds, making her understand why Kang Yuan has been that one for millennia. She gently inhaled. Little sister is somewhat confused. Has the 19th prince always been this reckless? Recklessness is in his nature, but even I couldn't imagine he would be so foolish, said the moon demon. His death was not at all regrettable, but the trouble he brought his father is certainly not over yet. Indeed, Han Yan deeply agreed. As an eternally proud prince, he didn't like others speaking above him, which was normal. Showing off in front of his beloved was also normal. But it didn't mean he had no insight at all. The entire ancient wilderness knew that one cannot break Kang Wu's eye, or it would be a provocation to Kang Yuan's dignity. Kang Yuan, such an absolute force, almost never appears in Jianghu. It only intimidates Jianghu with dignity. Provoking its dignity, isn't that madness? He did well, not only piercing Kang Wu's eyeball but also boasting there with authority. What does Kang Yuan consider its mother? Dare to be impudent before me. Annoy me, and my heavenly demon team will flatten your Kang Yuan. This sentence, boasting vigorously and grandiosely, indeed added to his imposing aura. However, the next moment, Kang Yuan's response came. A sword directly killed him, along with killing the top-level elder of the Demon Emperor divisions, splitting the totemic Fujiang Lotus of the Demon Domain in half. 19 Prince, oh 19 Prince. Having the courage and corresponding strength to challenge Kang Yuan is indeed worth some admiration, but without such strength, being a standout like this, isn't that pure folly? Do you think Kang Yuan will just let this pass after you die? They will look for your father, and the generation of the Demon Emperor will also face a headache. Try as they might, they couldn't comprehend it. Who among the present can understand? Under the enormous deterrence, everyone ignored one person. That was the screaming woman. She had already escaped to the rear attic, and dark lines layered on her face. An old woman quietly appeared behind her. "Princess, what on earth happened?" He came. Ancient sex Gu Suixin. The princess's face lightly twisted, extremely agitated. "What?" The old woman waved a hand, revealing the princess's bloody back. A piece of skin had already been torn away. The old woman's hand trembled slightly, finishing his ancient divine demon holy body with difficulty. "Now everything falls short. The Taoist you painstakingly stole also falls short. Why? Why is this happening?" "It's Ying Shiju. It's this useless fool who brings more harm than anything." The princess gritted her teeth. If it wasn't for him provoking Kang Yuan without reason, with the 17th elder always at this palace's side, how could that kid get close for a sneak attack? This is what this seat cannot comprehend. Although the 19th prince is somewhat reckless, he's not a fool today. Today he was showing off his bravado in front of the moon demon, always saying to let Father decree, kill off the remaining moon burial traitors. Father remained indecisive. When I return to the capital this time, I surely. "Princess, don't waste your efforts. Your Majesty will not make such a decision." The old woman lightly sighed. "Do you think this woman high-profile returned, now even openly playing the moon sacrifice song simply because she has something to rely on?" "What reliance? Flower demon of the demon domain 9 divisions." Indeed, the war that annihilated the mountain at Moon Burial Valley gave the flower demon of the demon domain 9 divisions a tremendous shock, causing people's hearts to reverse under the threat of survival. Although the overall strength of the flower demon is not substantial, the 9 domains united is certainly something extraordinary. Currently, the struggle between the demon domain and ancient divine ruins is getting more intense, really cannot afford more internal conflict. The princess was truly disheartened. 2 years ago, her proudest move of genius now became a rotten chess piece today. She, with her dignity as a princess, engaged with a man illicitly. Now it seemed like it was a cursed day. In comparison, Gu Suixin was cheerful like spring wind and swift like a mighty charger. Oh no, its spring wind triumphant like ancestral bones hurried, in an instant crossed rivers and mountains, took advantage of chaos to escape Gui City. In a brief time, he had returned to ancient divine ruins. Entering ancient divine ruins, his heart was greatly relieved. With a shake of his clothes, he took flight out of nowhere, his robust skin exposed, revealing the new mottled flesh on his back too. He extended his hand, and the piece of skin he had just forcibly ripped from the back of that demoness flew into the air. Chapter 856, Chapter 696, Seizing Opportunity Amid Chaos to Enter the Ancient Divine Ruins. The sky was filled with countless streaks of light, which with a hiss returned to his back. The wounds aligned perfectly with their original positions. As the flow of light passed over where the wounds joined, a circle of blood glow swirled, and soon the blood glow vanished, leaving his back without a trace of injury. Gu Suixin laughed heartily, stretched out his right hand, and a roaring azure dragon emerged. With another stretch, a white tiger came forth, and with a shudder of his back, the black tortoise appeared like a tower. With a step, the white bone boat shrunk and entered his ear, and a vermilion bird appeared out of thin air. The vermilion bird flapped its wings, and in an instant he was 1,000 miles away. Meanwhile, Lin Zaiasu, wearing a smile, stepped down with the yin-yang step in the void, accompanying him, never falling half a step behind. "Brother, I have a question, a very deep question. Although I know it's taboo, I still want to ask." Gu Suixin said, "If you're willing to chat about it, I'll light the lamp." Lin Zaiasu smiled. "Light the lamp then." Gu Suixin stretched out his hand, and a lamp as small as a bean appeared. Even under the bright sky, the area under the lamp remained dark. It was a kindling lamp of the ancient clan, similar in function to other kindling lamps. It blocked the heavenly Tao and all monitoring. Gu Suixin said, "I still feel that Kang Wu was initially targeting you." "Your intuition is very accurate. Kang Wu was indeed coming for me, because I once accidentally pierced one of Kang Wu's eyeballs, and most likely, this Kang Wu recognized me," Lin Zaiasu said. Gu Suixin's eyes widened. "Brother, you really are quite subversive. You seem to have done all the taboo things in the world, haven't you?" "That was truly an unintentional mistake. When I did it, I didn't know it was Kang Wu, nor did I know that there's a saying that Kang Wu's eyes are untouchable. It's quite similar to what happened with that demoness you dealt with." For a moment, Gu Suixin's thoughts drifted away, but taking a deep breath, he cast aside those unpleasant memories and said, "But then the 19 Prince stepped in, turning an absolute danger into our opportunity." Indeed. Gu Suixin blinked slightly. I find it hard to believe it was merely the 19 Prince's foolishness. Because before the event started, you mentioned creating chaos to give me an opportunity, and indeed, chaos ensued. Lin Ziasu smiled. The 19 Prince is certainly foolish, but being foolish to that extent is rather unlikely, so I added a bit of spice to it, controlled his mind, and let him serve as our tool. Subdivine skill, Gu Suixin's heart raced. Something like that, Lin Ziasu smiled. Gu Suixin took a deep breath. In the sky, you arrogantly said something challenging Kang Yuan. Was that also part of the plan? I intend to accompany you into the ancient divine ruins, but figuring there's nothing particularly suitable as a visiting gift, I decided to use this as a gift, letting the demon emperor face the hassle with Kang Yuan, thereby indirectly reducing some pressure from you concerning the ancient divine ruins. Gu Suixin sighed deeply. Brother, your military path is really pervasive. I should tell my father to marry my sister to you, so from then on we'd be family, and you can use your military path to help my ancient divine ruins out of the predicament. Father, Lin Ziasu's eyes widened. You are. Above the high mountain ahead, suddenly countless giants stood up. Salutations to the 9th Prince. The giants bowed simultaneously, as if a mountain range bowing its head. Welcome back to the ruins, 9th Prince. In the distance, waves rolled. You're the 9th Prince, Lin Ziasu said. When we met in Jiangnan, you and I were senior and junior brothers. Today, we can forego that and just be brothers. Gu Suixin said, Come, let's go see my father. The vermilion bird flapped its wings, and fiery light extended for thousands of miles. At this moment, the aura of his ancient divine emperor prince was completely unleashed. His perfectly state ancient divine demon sacred body was fully activated as well. Within the ancient divine ruins, all kinds of beings humbly bowed, including the ancient giant python in the great wilderness, including the ancient giant ape, including numerous ancient giant eagles hovering above the temple ruins, and even large trees that bent. Upon closer look, they were not trees but tree-shaped people. The speed of the vermilion bird increased evermore, eventually matching the speed of his ancestral white bone boat. This transformation in Gu Suixin, where he restored the divine demon sacred body's strength, was a significant enhancement. At this moment, he not only matched those holding the way but surpassed ordinary ones. Lin Ziasu closed his eyes, his face pained. For in that moment, he gave himself a sword in the sea of consciousness. This sword was not out of self-harm, but to split the spirit. Earlier, with a marvelous maneuver, Gu Suixin thought he had used subdivine skill, but actually, he had utilized the primordial spirit splitting technique. This primordial spirit had been directly annihilated by a sword from Kang Yuan. Only one primordial spirit remained in his body. Entering an unknown land with only one primordial spirit made him feel very insecure, so before truly meeting the ruler of the ancient divine ruins, he split another spirit, maintaining two primordial spirits. Below, mountains and rivers flowed rapidly, his sea of consciousness savoring that Kang Yuan willow sword. Crossing space, the sword struck down. This sword was Space Sword Tao, though it had an incidental resemblance with his empty mist technique. However, it was far superior to his void. He pondered intently, and on his heart mirror, there also vaguely appeared this sword shadow which, with his contemplation, was quickly parsed but remained unclear, very blurry, as if viewed through a layer of space, seeing flowers in the fog. This is the gap in space law. His space law barely reached a Tao flower level, whereas the other's space law was at least a Tao fruit. The difference between levels was vast, like that between heaven and earth. Incidentally, I'd like to mention Chapter 857, Chapter 696, Seizing Opportunity Amid Chaos to Enter the Ancient Divine Ruins. Just now, he used the divine splitting technique to seize the soul of the 19 Prince, which was actually a milestone. What kind of milestone? It declared that his enlightenment God realm cultivation had reached the perfect realm. The sign of perfection in the enlightenment God realm is the primordial spirit emergence. His spirit had emerged, and he even sees someone else's soul, which signifies his perfect enlightenment. The next step is enlightenment rules. For an average cultivator, enlightenment rules is extremely difficult. For him, it's just a matter of thought. Lin Zaiasu wants to reach enlightenment rules, and he actually can do it now. It's only because enlightenment rules are judged by the enlightenment of a lost seed as the standard. Within him, the seeds of the heavenly Tao 6 laws are complete. Some have even bloomed, already meeting the standard long ago. However, he has not truly placed the lost seed into the heavenly reincarnation, or merged it into the blood tower to achieve enlightenment rules, simply because he does not want his enlightenment rules to be incomplete. The heavenly Tao 7 techniques are only missing chaos. He wants to get hold of the chaos law, and then gather the 7 techniques and truly merge them within him. Such enlightenment rules have never been seen, because the fusion of the 7 techniques is almost equivalent to the heavenly Tao. Not to mention that, on the cultivation path, no one can comprehend the lost seed of all 7 techniques. Even if someone did and completed the comprehension, it would be absolutely forbidden. Under the heavenly Tao, crafting your own small heavenly Tao, what do you think you're doing? The heavenly Tao would execute you. This is also why Lin Zaiasu must nurture his own kindling lamp. Only those who possess their own kindling lamp can shield the heavenly Tao and fuse the 7 techniques into one. This plan has been in operation for a long time. From the moment he refused Taoist Lu Yun's kindling lamp, it became a clear roadmap on his cultivation path. The roadmap under his feet was also clear. Gu Suixin's vermilion bird wing spread wide, soaring through the clouds, entering the deepest part of the ancient divine ruins. The ancient divine ruins were incredibly vast. Exactly how vast, no one could say clearly. Because even the current master of the ancient divine ruins, the ancient sect, has only established their sect in areas suitable for their survival, with many forbidden zones they have never ventured into. The area of the ancient divine ruins currently occupied by the ancient sect already hosts many people, no different from the human nations, with a high degree of centralization and integration, and a very high level of prosperity. However, that special characteristic from antiquity remains indelible. What attributes are those? One is vastness, the other is wilderness. Vastness manifests in all aspects, the size of trees, mountains, rivers, people, and beasts. The wilderness is also present in all aspects. Beasts have wildness, people have wildness, beasts battle with earth-shattering might in the wilderness, and people, there are even wild couplings. Lin Zaiasu glided overhead, witnessing at least a dozen pairs of men and women immersed in wild, primal encounters, their enormous ancient bodies colliding with intense sounds audible from miles away. That scene needing a vast amount of mosaic. These gigantic ancient humans were in fact only lesser clansmen. As they advanced deeper, the aura belonging to antiquity slowly penetrated these mountains and rivers. The sky was especially vast. The land was especially open. Even the clouds and mist carried more heft than the outside world. Moreover, scattered across the land are ruins and remnants, testimony left by ancient civilizations. The ancient people revered their ancestors and did not feel that these ruins detracted from their current spirit. Amid these ancient ruins, women held newborns, vividly illustrating the merging of the old and the new. The far north, the mountains reach straight into the heavens. A giant lake spreads across the earth and sky. Heading toward the lake, atop the mountain, a vast, boundless ancient hall, countless massive skeletons towering to the clouds hidden within thick fog, imparting a sense of solemnity to the land. Gu Suixin pointed to these skeletons and told him, "These are the true forms of ancient gods and demons." His vermilion bird wing passed through the ribs of an ancient skeleton, and Lin Zaiasu raised his gaze, feeling a true aura from antiquity, also sensing the breath of chaos. Innate gods and demons, born from chaos. Acquired gods and demons also bear the aura of chaos. The people of the ancient sect don't speak of cultivation realms, they speak of physical enhancement, constantly returning to their ancestors, constantly strengthening their bodies. The highest realm is the utmost physical form, where the body becomes sacred. Gu Suixin, in fact, has no distinction in realm. Initially, his body was incomplete, his fighting power comparable to the height of enlightenment rules, and now, with his body fully restored, his battle power is not inferior to ordinary Taoists, even surpassing them. His comprehensive strength has already surpassed Lin Zaiasu. The vermilion bird wing broke through the clouds and mist, reaching the highest temple. Within the hall, a few gigantic figures, towering hundreds of meters high, rose through the void, each face filled with strong joy. The ninth prince's body is complete. Congratulations to the ninth prince. The divine demon's sacred body is whole, a great celebration for the ancient sect. Several elders with overwhelming auras bowed simultaneously. With a swoosh, the sky was filled with massive shadows, each exuding an overwhelming presence. Lin Zaiyasu was shocked in his heart. Such massive shadows, each one comparable to Huo Gang, the Imperial Palace Forbidden Army commander. Huo Gang was the strongest expert he had seen so far. From his perspective, not someone in one vow could contend with. It ought to be the standard of the second vessel. And now, upon stepping into the ancient sect, there were already at least 100 people with battle power on par with him. This is the ancient sect, one of the cores among the 19 superpowers. 1 abyss, 3 sects, 6 paths, 9 gates. Greetings, elders. Gu Suixin retracted the vermilion bird wing and clasped his hands in salute to the elders. In the center of the giant hall, a tall statue suddenly trembled slightly. A person stepped out from the statue. This person's appearance was identical to the statue, wearing a huge golden crown, his build unparalleled in grandeur. As he emerged from the statue, he seemed only a shadow, but with every 3 steps he took, the shadow turned solid. Chapter 858. Chapter 696. Seizing Opportunity Amid Chaos to Enter the Ancient Divine Ruins Part 4. Sure, here's the translation. HTML. This transformation between illusion and reality flows as fluidly as water, permeating with unparalleled Taoist essence. God Emperor, Your Majesty, 100 elders saluted in unison. Greetings, Father Emperor. Gu Suixin gently pulled Lin Zaiyasu and bowed before the enormous figure. The setback to my son's divine demon's sacred body mid-journey was truly a major blow to the ancient sect, yet today the sacred body returns, a delight indeed. The ancient gate divine emperor said, "How was this achieved?" Gu Suixin replied, reporting to Father Emperor, "Your child bore the great responsibility of the sacred body's return and traveled the world. In great wilderness Jiangnan was ambushed and incarcerated in the Heart Pavilion dungeon. Fortunately, Brother Su Lin led an army to Jiangnan, rescuing your child from imprisonment, and using the mystical tracking technique traced the vile person from that day. Just now, under Brother Su's marvelous plan, we broke through the demon domain's blockade and smoothly retrieved the back heart Chuan armor. The successful passage through this calamity is entirely thanks to Brother Su." The elders were all astonished. The God Emperor's gaze fell upon Lin Zaiyasu. "This is Su Lin, young Master Su." Lin Zaiyasu bowed. "Indeed, it is I. Su Lin has met His Majesty the God Emperor." The God Emperor sighed, as if from ancient times. For tens of thousands of years, the ancient sect has seldom benefited from the great favor of the human clan. Today, to receive such favor from young Master Su, bring wine. With a whoosh, 2 ancient bronze cups spiraled up from the abyss below. They fell into the God Emperor's hand. The God Emperor's hand separated. The 2 cups of wine fell respectively into his and Lin Zaiasu's hand. "Young Master Su, this cup is in honor of you." As the words fell, his form suddenly shrank, resizing to match Lin Zaiasu's stature. Lin Zaiyasu was slightly shocked. "Your Majesty, this, how dare I accept such an honor?" You certainly can," the God Emperor laughed heartily. "Young Master Su, please." Throwing his head back, he drank the wine. Lin Zaiyasu raised the cup in return, also threw back his head and drank the wine. A mere cup of wine, seemingly insignificant, yet as the wine slid down, Lin Zaiyasu suddenly felt his entire true yuan double. His true yuan within doubled. How astonishing is that? It's worth noting that he achieved his enlightenment realm by amassing all the resources of the 3 sects. The true yuan in his sea of reincarnation, blood tower, meridians, and all cells was roughly equivalent to the total resources of these 3 sects. And now, after a cup of wine, the true yuan increased sharply. What does this signify? It signifies that from their first meeting, the ancient God Emperor offered him the resources of 3 sects. And these resources were directly converted into true yuan without requiring refinement. "Your Majesty, this wine," Lin Zaiasu's heart skipped. The God Emperor said, "Indeed, it's not surprising that a prodigy capable of forging ties with my ancient clan can easily accommodate the ancient divine ape wine. A great opportunity indeed, Suixin, my child." Gu Suixin was shocked. "Father Emperor, you actually dared to give Brother Su a whole cup of ancient divine ape wine directly. Aren't you afraid it would explode him?" The ancient divine ape wine is heaven and earth spirit wine concocted by the sacred ape using ancient rare treasures. Within the ancient gate, it's among the most cherished treasures. Ordinary disciples, at most, are granted only a drop. Even just a drop often requires months of slumber for gradual absorption. And just now, this cup was far more than a drop. At least 30 drops. Besides the direct descendants of the God Emperor, no one can withstand it. Forcing it causes the risk of bodily explosion and death. The God Emperor laughed heartily. You underestimate your father Emperor. Can't he discern that Brother Su's physique is comparable to yours? Enough, young Master Su has drank a cup of divine ape wine, likely unable to drink more celebration wine. Take Brother Su to outer heaven residence to rest. When he wakes, whatever young Master Su requires, you decide. All right, farewell, Father Emperor. Gu Suixin gently pulled Lin Zaiasu. Lin Zaiasu bowed. Farewell, God Emperor, your majesty. Behind them, a flash of red light, they rose into the air, traversing a long line of palaces. Before them in the void a portal flickered. They entered the outer heaven residence. They vanished. Among the elders, one said, Your Majesty, is this youth's physique truly comparable to the ninth prince? Chapter 859, Chapter 697, Breaking into Enlightenment Rules, Earth as the Rule Shad. Your Majesty knows the elders' doubts. Actually, I also have many doubts. His physique is of an ordinary human body, yet he can use the flesh star body refining method to enhance his physical body to a degree comparable to a primary divine demon sacred body. It's truly unbelievable, said the divine emperor. The great elder frowned. Cultivators using flesh star body refining are already legendary in today's world. It is said that there are only 100 such supreme heavenly pride individuals. Could it be that he is one of these 100 outstanding figures? As mentioned before, heavenly stars are divided into skin heavenly stars, flesh heavenly stars, and bone stars. For an ordinary person, it's already exceptional to refine even a heavenly star. Mostly they use skin heavenly stars. Flesh heavenly stars are at the level of major sect heavenly pride individuals, but their flesh heavenly stars are used to construct reincarnation starry skies within their bodies, not for body refining. Those truly willing to use this much sought-after flesh heavenly star for body refining have only one possibility. The heavenly star they use to construct their reincarnation starry sky is a superior level bone star. How difficult is a bone star? Only those with supreme enlightenment, supreme determination, supreme fortune, and an incomparably solid foundation have a chance of generating it. Are there such individuals? Yes, but very few. The great elder, as an elder of the ancient sect, has profound knowledge about the young talents of the world. In his understanding, there are less than 100 individuals with bone stars. These 100 individuals all belong to figures within the 3 sects, 6 paths, and 9 gates. And most of them are at the Holy Son and Holy Daughter level. Therefore, he suspects that this young Master Su might be a Holy Son or Holy Daughter from one of these 19 renowned forces in the world. The second elder stepped forward. No, I've thoroughly investigated these 100 individuals. None has a bone age under 30, while young Master Su's bone age is just 26. This point the second elder can speak on, because he is the ancient sect's intelligence gatherer. He has profound knowledge about the young talents of the world. The 8th elder spoke. The 2 elders are discussing whether young Master Su is a cultivator with a bone star. What I am concerned with is what your Majesty said. What your Majesty said is indeed correct. Even if he has a bone star, it is still absolutely impossible to reach a degree comparable to a primary divine demon sacred body. Aside from the bone star, there must be other reasons. The other reason might be that the 9th prince has already taught him divine magic. Divine magic, combined with flesh star body refining, might really be able to reach such heights, suggested the 4th elder. This topic ends here, because no one has really experimented with combining divine magic and flesh star body refining. Flesh star body refining is already extremely rare. Counting across the world, there are only about 100 people, each being a generation of heavenly pride at the apex of the cultivation pyramid, who would experiment with divine magic. Divine magic is the foundation of cultivation at the ancient sect, and it is impossible to test it on other sect holy sons. The ancient sect itself does not practice the heavenly Tao. Thus, these 2 body refining methods have never been combined. No one knows whether combining the two techniques will achieve a result greater than the sum of its parts. The divine emperor of the ancient sect and the elders, without a doubt, have a high level of insight. At least, the divine emperor could easily recognize Lin Zaya-Asu's flesh star body refining, and the other elders could easily see that Lin Zaya-Asu had practiced ancient sect divine magic. However, they still haven't realized the true mystical mechanism of Lin Zaya-Asu's body refining art. The true mystical mechanism lies in the creation gate. The creation gate is something never seen in the ancient great world. It was merely a circle drawn by a dreamer from that world's Myojung while gazing into deep space. He could only draw this circle based on his own knowledge system without verification. Lin Zaya-Asu is the first person on this path to connect theory with practice. Thus, a lifetime of research from experts sometimes cannot compare to the momentary inspiration of a genius. Lin Zaya-Asu and Gu Suixin have already entered the outer heaven residence. The outer heaven residence's scenery is quite different from the outside. Instead, it is rather similar to Misty Rain Jiangnan. This likely corresponds to Lin Zaya-Asu's characteristics. Lin Zaya-Asu comes from an external realm and might be uncomfortable with those ancient halls of the ancient divine ruins, so he was given rooms that resemble the outside world for accommodation. Brother, the ancient divine ape wine is quite formidable. You should rest for 3 days and 3 nights first, said Gu Suixin. No need, Lin Zaya-Asu answered. Brother Gu, may I borrow your chaos pool for a while? Chaos pool, Gu Suixin slightly startled. What do you want to do? Comprehend chaos law. Gu Suixin laughed. There's no problem with the chaos pool. Others cannot enter, but you can at any time. But Brother Su, once you enter, it's uncertain when you will emerge. Your Majesty is always waiting for you to earn money for him, and if you go for years without returning, aren't you afraid he'll be anxiously waiting for you on the roof? Go for years. I don't plan to go for years. Let's not talk about your Majesty. I've arranged to see the lanterns next year on the 15th of the first month. Next year on the 15th of the first month, Gu Suixin said. Brother, you really underestimate the chaos law. The chaos law is the most variable law within the heavenly Tao 7 techniques and also the most difficult to comprehend. We, the ancient royal family, have chaos bloodline, and even for us, it takes until adulthood to even glimpse its path. External cultivators, regardless of how much of a heavenly pride they are, hope to form a chaos Tao seed, but without 100 years, there's basically no hope. So why don't I try asking my Emperor Father to gift you a chaos treasure? If you must apply chaos law, directly using the power of chaos law within the treasure would be far more convenient than cultivating it yourself. Chapter 860, Chapter 697, Breaking into the Enlightenment Rules, Earth as the Rule Shadow /2. He didn't ask Lin Zaya-Asu why he must cultivate the chaos law. However, from his perspective, he provided the optimal solution. For ordinary people to comprehend the chaos law, it usually takes hundreds of years. Clearly, he couldn't wait that long, so fine, give him a chaos treasure. The chaos treasures held by the ancient royal family are extraordinary, containing the power of laws within, directly applicable, simple, convenient, and operable. Lin Zaya-Asu gently shook his head. Let me try anyway. After all, cultivation has no fixed rules. Maybe I have a fate with the chaos law and can comprehend it in just 3 to 5 days. You, as the saying goes, won't turn back until you hit a wall, right? All right, since we're brothers. Gu Suixin moved his feet, and the two of them rose into the air spontaneously. With this flight, they directly entered the outer heaven, beyond outer heaven residence. Outer heaven is truly an environment similar to ancient times. God and demon corpses can be seen everywhere. Various ancient creatures are visible, but in front of a giant pool, all creatures retreat because that is the chaos pool. The chaos pool, with its unfathomable fog, untraceable energy, apart from the innate species that grew from chaos itself, anything else entering the pool would be reduced to elemental essence if not careful. Who wouldn't be afraid? Probably only Gu Suixin and Lin Zaya-Asu. Gu Suixin had a divine demon sacred body, currently basic, but the next goal is to step into the innate. Once he achieves the innate, he'll be no different from an innate god and demon born in chaos. Then this pool of chaos original liquid would essentially be his mother's placenta. Unfortunately, he hasn't achieved the innate yet. So he warned Lin Zaya-Asu, Brother Su, you can only sit by the pool, start from the basics from now on, forget the passing of years, Forget the lanterns of the 15th day of the first month, and forget your homeland's treasury. His tone was solemn. Okay then, Lin Zaiasu sat cross-legged by the pool. The enhanced human Tao orchid heart fully activated, one primordial spirit solely focused on studying the chaos law. The other primordial spirit repeatedly practiced a sword move in front of his heart mirror. This sword move was stolen. The source was Kang Yuan Liu. He seized possession of the 19 prince, pierced Kang Wu's eyeball, and obtained Kang Yuan's sword. This sword, the Space Sword Tao. A Space Sword Tao is not unfamiliar to Lin Zaiasu. For a long time, his Li Ren Tears was his strongest sword move, later upgraded to Void, becoming his current strongest move. The strength of Void lies in merging space laws. However, that move of Space Sword Tao from Kang Yuan Liu overturned his understanding of space sword skills. Above the empty sky, a sword appeared from nowhere, crossing space, directly slashing the powerful enemy. The legendary immortal sword can kill people across thousands of miles. That is legend. But this sword is even more miraculous than the legend. It does not kill people across thousands of miles. It kills directly across space. He reenacted the mirror sword, founded upon void, embodying Misty Rain Jiangnan's subtlety, but its core subtly changed. The complexity of blooming flowers faded, leaving only a sword tearing through space, coming from beyond the domain. This sword, growing sharper, more unpredictable, gradually bore a trace of Kang Yuan Liu's charm, one trace of charm. He sat by the chaos pool for 3 days. On the 3rd day, his eyes suddenly opened. When his eyes opened, the chaos pool seemed to tremble slightly. A crystalline dewdrop came from the chaos, broke into his spirit platform, and transformed into his 7th Tao seed within the spirit platform. Ah, a scream sounded behind him. With a swish, Gu Suixin appeared in front of him, his eyes wide as copper bells. The Tao seed formed. Are you still human? I already said, I have a fate with the chaos law, Lin Zaiasu said with a smile. Damn, you have a fate with the chaos law. Where does that leave me, a genuine ancient descendant? I wasn't even this fated. Gu Suixin breathed heavily. Lin Zaiasu stood up. Now I can go deeper, right? Go deeper? Are you aiming to pick the Tao flower? Gu Suixin's eyes widened again. Not that, I just think that platform up ahead is quite suitable for me to go into seclusion and break into the enlightenment realm. Enlightenment? Are you sure it's enlightenment? Gu Suixin stared at him intently. Yes, is there something abnormal about it? Lin Zaiasu blinked. Gu Suixin let out a long breath. What's abnormal? You even dare to ask what's abnormal? Tell me, what part of this is normal? On Jiangnan Road, you killed those at enlightenment like slaughtering chickens, and you've even directly confronted holding the way. I always thought you were at the peak of enlightenment, and even at the peak of enlightenment, you should be outstanding at the heavenly pride level. But now you're telling me you're still at broken enlightenment, God. In that case, I must really be a genius, Lin Zaiasu said. Since I chose to be brothers with you, an innate divine demon saint body, I probably can only be a genius. Brother, I'm truly grateful we're brothers, Gu Suixin said. Let's go, I'll accompany you straight up to the green lotus platform. With a swish, they flew across the chaos pool. Above the chaos pool, chaos energy was omnipresent. For an average cultivator, it's absolutely impossible to fly over, but they can. Because Lin Zaiasu already possessed the chaos Tao seed, he had already entered the door in the domain of chaos law. Ahead through the thick mist, Lin Zaiasu's eyes suddenly brightened. Chaos was like a lake, and in the lake there was a gigantic green lotus. This was the platform he had vaguely seen through the chaos mist, and in his view, it was very suitable for him to enter seclusion and break through. Chapter 861, Chapter 697, Breaking into Enlightenment Rules, Earth as the Rule Shadow Part 3. The high platform is not actually a high platform, but a green lotus. A green lotus growing out of the chaos. The two of them landed on the lotus platform, Gu Suixin said. The dew of the green lotus is the essence of chaos original liquid. It is most effective for replenishing true yuan. Brother, you didn't see wrong. Here is indeed suitable for seclusion and breakthrough. Seclusion and breakthrough require a large amount of true yuan replenishment. Only when true yuan is abundant can the internal structure be set up. Lin Zaiasu stayed on the green lotus for another 3 days. In 3 days, all the true yuan in his body was replenished to perfection. Everything was inspected and completed. The results of the inspection were very favorable. His whole body was in great condition. It was time for a breakthrough. In his spirit platform, the first Tau seed flew out, which was the newly achieved Chaos Tau seed. The great Tao emerges from chaos, and within the chaos lies the mystical mechanism. It was the second Tau seed, the Life Law Tau seed, which directly fell into the chaos. The Life Tau seed was born from the chaos, granting life to the sea of reincarnation. The third Tau seed, the Yin-Yang Tau seed, divided heaven and earth into yin and yang. The fourth was a Tau flower, the space Tau flower. This Tau flower was not vibrant, even somewhat withered, yet this withering brought Lin Zaiasu the greatest joy, as it represented the space law Tau flower was showing signs of blooming and bearing fruit. Why progress so quickly? Because of the 10 days, he spent fully researching the space sword Tau move from Kangyuan Liu. Researching this sword simultaneously pushed his space law into greater depth. The space law once again led all other laws. With this Tau flower appearing, the sea of reincarnation seemed to have transformed into a real inner space. The fifth one, was still a Tau flower, the Time Tau flower. The Time Tau flower was exceptionally vibrant. Once it fell into the sea of reincarnation space, the time of this world seemed to truly begin. The sixth was cause and effect. This space became unpredictable. The seventh was reincarnation. With a grinding sound, the entire sea of reincarnation suddenly became complete. Lin Zaiasu shuddered all over, the blood tower slowly rotated, and the entire sea of reincarnation seemed to evolve a small world from the chaos, which slowly began to activate. A vast galaxy appeared behind Lin Zaiasu's head. Among the galaxy, countless stars, suddenly within these countless stars, a blue planet grew larger and clearer. Gu Suixin sat on the green lotus, holding a jade cup filled with chaos original liquid, about to sip it, but abruptly halted. He gazed in shock at Lin Zaiasu's rule shadow. What is this? Rule shadow, he's seen many, but typical rule shadows are just an illusory galaxy. But his galaxy was clear as reality. The truest star contained mountains, rivers, and lakes, so vivid, he had never seen such a real rule shadow. Actually, this blue planet was Earth. Gu Suixin had never seen a space projection of Earth. He didn't know what it was, but he knew it must be extraordinary, for with the appearance of this planet, the chaos green lotus beneath him seemed to tremble slightly, and the chaos original liquid on the lotus turned to rain and fog, nourishing this planet. Minute by minute, hour by hour passed. 2 hours later, this planet began to fade, becoming more and more ethereal. Finally, it vanished completely. Lin Zaiasu's eyes suddenly opened wide with joy. The heavenly Tao 7 techniques within him fused to create a planet of Earth. The Earth rule shadow disappeared, but only externally. It reached the sea of reincarnation, rising higher and higher. His 9 heavenly stars also rose higher. The sea of reincarnation was no longer a sea, but a galaxy. An entire micro-universe existed within him, seemingly so real it could be touched. It succeeded. His enlightenment realm finally achieved. Entering the desolate ancient realm, before the first new year arrived, he had never reached enlightenment realm until now, stepping into enlightenment rules. Now he truly deserved to be Daxia's guardian, even without the undead defending the country. If he returned to Daxia now, he could fend off those so-called giants of the desolate ancient from beyond the national borders. Brother, it succeeded, Gu Suixin's voice came. Indeed, said Lin Zaiasu. I sense your enlightenment rules are unique, but I cannot fathom its mysteriousness. Gu Suixin said, how about a duel? Sure, replied Lin Zaiasu. Take this? Gu Suixin's hand suddenly lifted, sending out a dragon claw with a roar. This strike was truly overwhelming. Lin Zaiasu lifted his hand, throwing a punch. Boom! Both simultaneously flew off the green lotus. Amazing, brother! Gu Suixin's long howl, his body suddenly expanding to 10 jang wide. This expansion activated the 4 symbols' body protection. One strike came, stirring the winds and clouds above the chaos pool. Lin Zaiasu's right hand also expanded swiftly. With this expansion, his fist grew to a diameter of beyond 1 jang. Thump! 2 gigantic fists directly collided. The chaos pool waters surged into monstrous waves. Gu Suixin shouted loudly, brother, full body expansion, let's have a hearty duel. I can't, my clothes can't hold, full body expansion would leave me bare-bottomed. Haha, Gu Suixin said, I prepared this for you here. With a wave of his hand, a box flew over. Inside the box was a set of purple scholar's outfit, a pair of scholar's boots, and even a hair-binding jade crown. Knowing your usual dashing womanizer image, I specially picked this scholar's flamboyant attire. This clothing is made from ancient divine vine, can be large or small. Change into it. Whoosh! Linzayasu straight onto the green lotus platform, a swift change of clothes completed gracefully. Soon he reappeared, wearing the purple scholar's outfit, elegant as a Jiangnan gentleman. Chapter 862, Chapter 697, Breaking into Enlightenment Rules, Earth as Rule Shadow /4. And Gu Suixin was almost the same as him. They seemed more suited for visiting brothels to listen to music, but at this moment, what they were doing was far from that. Their bodies expanded together. With this expansion, they each reached a height of 10 jang. Boom, 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 fists hitting flesh. If they were in the wild, the earth beneath them would have already crumbled. If they were on a real sea, the ocean might have been punched through. However, they were in the chaos pool. On the chaos pool, their fierce exchange couldn't disturb the surrounding mountains and plains, not even attracting the attention of the ancient clan. All that existed was the collision between the strongest of bodies, a full display of manly vigor. Exhilarating. Utterly exhilarating. Gu Suixin shouted all the way. The more he fought, the more spirited he became. Linzayasu's blood flowed faster and faster, his use of god and demon art becoming more adept. After 3 hours, Gu Suixin unified the 4 symbols. With a sudden strike, his fist crashed with Linzayasu's right fist. Behind Linzayasu, space shimmered, seemingly revealing an ancient scene, a peak from ancient times, with a person standing atop it, whose face was also Linzayasu's. The chaotic tides around them roared up, like a giant curtain projection. Under the projection, both displayed their god and demon dharma forms. Gu Suixin unified the 4 symbols: azure dragon, white tiger, vermilion bird, and black tortoise. While Linzayasu, without such ancient phenomena behind him, only had a peak, and on that peak was himself. Gu Suixin stared at him in astonishment. You use yourself as a dharma form. Linzayasu said, that might be where you and I differ. You have the ancient 4 symbols, but I, being so distant from them, can only take myself as the dharma form. To take oneself as a dharma form is indeed immensely heroic through the ages, but Gu Suixin's voice stopped abruptly. All right, follow your own path, that's the best way. He didn't finish his words, but Linzayasu understood. In the middle realm of god and demon art, one develops a god and demon dharma form which can enhance one's strength. At a high realm, one can even borrow the great power of these forms from within the heavenly Tao. This is the wonder of the dharma form. Yet it is also the limitation of the dharma form. It places all the practitioner's abilities under the constraints of the dharma form. Linzayasu, taking himself as the dharma form, chose to abandon the empowerment from ancient divine beasts, but also cut off the shackles. This is the difference between his and Gu Suixin's god and demon art. This is actually why Gu Suixin wanted to fight him. Gu Suixin wanted to push him into the middle realm of god and demon. Through their fierce battle, he truly manifested his god and demon dharma form. Brother, are you leaving? Yes. Actually, I must go too, Gu Suixin said. I need to enter the chaotic ancient abyss to achieve my innate path. Then let's say our goodbyes today, Linzayasu said. Have a drink. On the road of life, 3 cups of realgar wine from this point on, across mountains and rivers, for 100 lifetimes, you and I will always be brothers. He raised his hand. 2 wine jugs appeared, one of which flew towards Linzayasu. Linzayasu caught it. Cheers. Cheers. Both tilted their heads back, finishing the jug completely. Putting down the cups, they faced each other. Gu Suixin said, in the world, if there's trouble within 2 years, find my father. After 2 years, you don't need to look, I will find you. All right. I will see you out of the ancient divine ruins. Actually, there's no need. We don't need to be like children, let's part here. All right. Linzayasu moved, his left foot dark, his right foot bright white. Silently, his figure had already vanished. Gu Suixin quietly looked at the sky, sighed lightly. Pity my sister is away, sigh. He descended quickly, diving into an abyss. There it was called the chaotic ancient abyss. The sigh before entering the abyss was for his sister. His sister's talent was exceptionally high, her vision unprecedented. No peer could catch her eye. With her criteria for choosing a partner, it was virtually impossible to get married in this world, and this brother Su seemed born according to her criteria. He came yet just missed her. Such is fate. And Lin Zaiasu, with his yin-yang step, left the ancient divine ruins. His yin-yang step already had the marvel of reaching the sky and traversing the 9 netherworld, connecting all realms in a single step. Only because he currently harbored the 7 laws within. With the fusion of the 7 laws, his yin-yang step naturally carried the characteristics of space law. Thus, this yin-yang step was no longer purely yin-yang. The fusion of yin-yang law and space law is not 1 + 1 = 2, but greater than 2. Chapter 863, Chapter 698, A Song Flies Above the Little Town. Lin Zaiasu could never have imagined. As he left the ancient divine ruins, a bone-flying boat was returning from the south, crossing the vast swamps for thousands of miles. On the bone boat there were 2 people. Both people were women. The person on the left was unkempt, with her hair casually tied with a leather strap, and wearing an animal skin that had bloodstains on both the strap and the skin. Just by looking at her outfit, most people would probably think of her as the daughter of a poor hunter. In fact, she was indeed a hunter, but the things she hunted were beyond what ordinary people could imagine. Take the leather strap she used to tie her hair, for example. It was a tendon from a 7th realm yin jiao. What is a 7th realm yin jiao? It has combat strength comparable to the Taoist of the human clan. It died under her with quite a lack of dignity. This woman didn't even want the jiao pill of the yin jiao. The reason she killed it was simple. Her headband broke, and it was inconvenient to have her hair loose, so she used the jiao tendon to tie her hair. The animal skin she wore was equally extraordinary. It was the hide of a 7th realm earth cover, and she wore it merely because her clothes were torn. Her gaze was very indifferent. She seemed uninterested in all worldly matters. She was the sister whom Gu Suixin spoke of, the most unruly 5th princess of her generation at the ancient divine ruins, Gu Buli. Yes, her unruliness was far beyond what Gu Suixin could compare to. Gu Suixin had too many points of interest in women, but overall, it was still within the normal range for a man. Gu Buli was completely uninterested in everything in the world, which was not normal. If she had to find a point of interest, it might be the woman beside her. She did not originally know this woman. The point of connection was the earth cover that died by her hand. After she finished off the earth cover, she bathed in the abyss and suddenly smelled the aroma of earth cover. Then, she saw this woman kindling a fire and roasting earth cover meat to eat. When she arrived, the earth cover, whose size was comparable to that of Mengu, had been eaten by the woman until only the head remained. This amazed her. The earth cover, after all, was a 7th realm fierce beast. If an ordinary person took a single bite, they would explode, yet this woman clearly had no cultivation but had eaten nearly an entire beast. She probed with her divine sense and was taken aback. Swallowing heaven without leakage. The swallowing heaven without leakage constitution, an ancient constitution long lost, how could it appear here? She appeared and inquired, learning that the woman was surnamed Li, named Diandian. Already married, her in-laws disliked her for eating too much, and her husband abandoned her, leaving so swiftly that not even the dust could be seen. Although Gu Buli was indifferent, she sympathized greatly with the weak. Upon hearing of this beautiful yet tragically fated girl, her eyes red with sorrow as she spoke of the heartless man, Gu Buli's sympathy was aroused, and she pulled her up. Eating a lot is a crime. Follow me, and I'll let you eat to your fill. And so they traveled together, crossing several mountain peaks, leaving the mountain's fierce beasts to curse their bad luck. As fierce beasts, their most valuable parts were their beast core and demon pill. To die at the hands of those beast hunters was their fate, but to end up with these 2 was worse than murder. They devoured the meat and stew without leaving behind even a scrap, throwing the demon cores carelessly into roadside grass. Valuable things were discarded, worthless things were gnawed to death. You couldn't fight them, nor could you reason with them. Doesn't that seem unjust? As they continued their journey, Gu Buli became more and more amazed. Following her, the woman's physical body continuously strengthened. Each meal made her body a bit stronger. Strangely, this growth had no correlation with the quality of the meat. Eating a 7th realm fierce beast was no different than eating a 2nd or 3rd realm one. A record surfaced in her mind. Swallowing heaven without leakage, absorbing the essence of flesh and blood, feasting upon all fierce beasts of the heavens, resulting in an impenetrable body. In other words, the principle behind this miraculous constitution's physical enhancement was not directly absorbing the meat's energy, but rather its essence through the flesh. What she needed wasn't high-grade meat, but a variety of types. Deandian, the meat outside is limited. Why don't you come with me into the ancient divine ruins? There, you'll find ancient fierce beasts from across the ages, encompassing all known and unknown meat. Enter my ancient gate, and you'll undoubtedly develop an invincible body. Then you can skin and dismantle that heartless husband of yours. Okay, Lee Dandian agreed immediately. Thus, the two of them boarded the bone boat and returned to the ancient mountain gate. Gu Bewley's heart was full of excitement. She had discovered another legendary constitution for her sect. Lee Dandian was also excited. In the desolate ancient realm, the 19 top powers in the sect hold the key to solving the Daxia crisis. The ancient sect is one of the 19 powers. These powers had all become targets of infiltration by Qianlong. The blue demon had arrived, Miao Yin had arrived, and Shi Huya had also arrived. The world was vast, the sects numerous, and mobile signals unavailable. It didn't matter if she couldn't find her husband for now. After all, they were on the same path. She wouldn't have thought that just as she stepped into the ancient divine ruins, the man she worried about day and night had just left the ancient divine ruins at the same time. This perhaps is what you call the unpredictability of fate. Lin Zaiasu left the ancient divine ruins. As he flew over the high peak ahead, he paused for a moment. Chapter 864, Chapter 698, A Song Over the Little Town, Part 2. It's snowing. The end of the year is approaching, and the deep winter has arrived. He has been in the ancient divine ruins for more than half a month, and the outside world is already frozen over. In front of him is the starting point of this journey, that small town. What small town? The place where Gu Suixin cavorted with that demon clan woman, and the place where he truly felt the hurt from a woman. The small town of that day was like misty rain Jiangnan, with a spring-like aura. But today's small town is covered in heavy snow, the world a vast expanse of white. Snowflakes still fall from the sky, and the number of pedestrians in the town is dwindling. To be exact, there are almost no pedestrians outside except for a few poor souls in thin clothing struggling through the snow. He walked through the air, traversing the snow, about to step beyond the small town and embark on his journey back to the capital. Suddenly, in a small courtyard in the town, a peach tree bloomed. The vibrant peach blossoms were so striking against the snow. The black and white on Lin Zaiasu's feet stopped alternating. His gaze turned toward the small courtyard and the peach tree. His heart skipped a beat. The sound of the zither began, extremely gentle. Like a spring breeze blowing through, melting snow and blooming flowers. In front of him, it was as if the world had changed. In this world, it was no longer 1,000 miles of ice, but filled with the vigor of spring. Peach blossoms bloomed, plums bloomed. A small garden showcased an uncontainable sense of spring. There was also that familiar zither melody, carrying a hint of joy, carrying a hint of invitation. Lin Zaiasu descended from the void, landing outside the small garden, raised his hand gently, and the garden gate opened. Once opened, the garden's spring filled the face. The outside world, bitterly cold, seemed like a different world. At the end of the garden, there was a small pavilion. In the pavilion, two women slowly turned around. The wind blew. There was a faint fragrance, flowers drifted, and there was also floral beauty, the most brilliant two blossoms, clearly not on the branches but at the end of the long pavilion. Lin Zaiasu smiled gently. In the garden, beauty blooms in red, myriad branches in crimson splendor blend into spring harmony. When shall it become 1,000-year fruit, to show the creation and craftsmanship of mankind? I wondered who in this world could craft such wonders. Turned out to be old acquaintances. The two in the small pavilion. They turned out to really be his old acquaintances. One acquaintance was Han Yan, the other was the Moon Demon. Han Yan's expression had a hint of complexity. The Moon Demon, however, smiled sweetly, stood up to greet him. Greetings, young Master Su. Greetings, Moon Demon Fairy. Fairy Han Yan. Lin Zaiasu also bowed in respect. Han Yan could no longer sit. She also stood up, gracefully bowed. However, she did not speak. The Moon Demon gently said, Moon Demon is just Moon Demon. Why does the gentleman add a fairy? In my heart, fairies are not distinguished by race. Those with unparalleled purity are all fairies. Thank you, sir. The moon demon's eyes glimmered with gratitude. Lin Zaiasu said, I must also thank Moon Demon Fairy for the protection in the brothel that day. He was speaking of the event when the 19 Prince intended to strike at him, but the Moon Demon suddenly appeared to protect him. Though the 19 Prince had no capacity to harm him, the act of protection was still a favor. You're joking, sir. With your abilities enough to rival holding the way, the 19 Prince couldn't harm you in the slightest. My actions were impulsive under the momentary distress. The blush on the Moon Demon's cheeks rippled in layers. The blush on her cheeks was originally a constant, but now it swayed, evoking endless charm and spring. Lin Zaiasu was momentarily dazed. A demon truly is a demon. It was the first time in his life he really grasped the charm of a demon. Han Yan, observing her friend, let's tentatively call her a friend, seemed a bit dazed as well, spoke up. Young Master Su, please enter the pavilion. All right, Lin Zaiasu took a step into the pavilion. Please have a seat, young Master Su. The Moon Demon personally served a cup of tea. Lin Zaiasu sat down, his gaze turned to Han Yan, smiled softly. I did not expect Cold Fairy to still be willing to see me. It truly took me by surprise. Han Yan gently sighed. What you did when you went to Jiangnan indeed led to our opposition, but half a month ago, your melody healed my spiritual injury. I, Han Yan, in my actions, acknowledge kindness as kindness, grievance as grievance. Whatever you owe me, I will seek from you. What I owe you, I would thank face to face in return. Cold Fairy is discerning in matters of gratitude and resentment. Admirable indeed. Lin Zaiasu said, Moon Demon Fairy, why have you, on my return journey, made this tree of peach blossoms bloom? The Moon Demon slowly stood, bowed deeply. Lin Zaiasu was taken aback. What are you? The Moon Demon slowly lifted her head. Sir, your burial flower song of that day, I believe you share my sentiment. I have a matter to seek your guidance on. I earnestly hope sir will not hesitate to teach. Fairy need not be so formal, feel free to speak, Lin Zaiasu said. The Moon Demon said, I have long heard of your brilliant strategies that bring peace to the world and ingenious solutions to problems. Currently, my 9 flower demon divisions are about to follow in the footsteps of Moon Burial Valley. May I ask, sir, is there a strategy that can help us preserve our territory and secure our people? Lin Zaiasu was taken aback. Seeking his advice. Who knew about his strategies for peace in the world? Who knew his abilities were more visible in planning? Probably only the Han Yan in front of him knew. This clearly shows, even though Han Yan held a grudge over him for ruining her home, deep down, she still admired him, seeing her friend's troubled situation. She gave her friend the idea to stop him and see what he would suggest. The Moon Demon's heart was also full of unrest. She did not know if the young gentleman, of character so complex, yet with unfathomable abilities, could help her. Lin Zaiasu gently raised his hand. Moon Demon Fairy, please sit, tell me about your current situation. The Moon Demon's heart was filled with joy. If he was unwilling to help, he certainly wouldn't listen to her situation. His willingness to listen truly meant there was hope. Chapter 865. Chapter 698. A Song Over the Little Town, Part 3. She performed a salute and sat down, then began to recount the predicament faced by the flower demons of the 9 divisions in the demon domain. Her words were elegant, and after summarizing and organizing them, they could be translated into plain language roughly as follows. She was originally a flower demon from Zhanghua Valley, which was annihilated by the entire heavenly demon army for defying the will of the demon emperor. This resulted in the tragic situation where all her kin were lost. However, Zhanghua Valley is not the only place with flower demons in the demon domain. There are a total of 9 flower demon divisions. These 9 flower demon divisions harbor a deep resentment for the destruction of Zhanghua Valley. The demon emperor is already aware. There is already a plan to annihilate the 9 flower demon divisions. On that day in Gui City, she publicly played the Moon Sacrifice song, fully showcasing her ability to use the moon as her eyes and weapon to demonstrate against the demon emperor, warning him not to act rashly. Otherwise, he shouldn't think that the flower demons have no means of counterattack. Under normal circumstances, this demonstration would have been effective. However, the sudden events that occurred that day have riled up the demon sect, complicating matters. The 19 Prince's head must have been kicked by a donkey, as he suddenly rebelled against Kangyuan. Kangyuan Liui, wielding the astonishing space sword Tao, killed this rebellious brat on the spot, also casually killing a demon sect elder. Note, the elder killed on the spot wasn't one of the demon emperor's people. He was from the demon sect. To many, the demon sect and the demon emperor are one and the same, but in reality, they aren't. The demon sect is one of the 6 paths and 9 gates, a top-tier force at the peak of the pyramid. As for the demon emperor of the demon domain, he's merely a manager assigned by the demon sect, similar to the relationship between the mental path and the heart pavilion. This matter has stirred up a great upheaval in the demon domain. Neither the demon sect nor the demon domain's imperial family under its control dare to retaliate against Kangyuan. However, being sanctioned by Kangyuan inevitably damages reputation. In the demon domain, dissenting voices are rising, questioning the demon emperor's legitimacy in ruling the myriad demons in the demon domain. Otherwise, why would Kangyuan target him? It should be known that even though Kangyuan doesn't dwell in the mortal realm, his influence is absolute. Whether a sect or a dynasty, if it doesn't gain Kangyuan's approval, its rule won't last long. How can the demon emperor deter disturbance in the demon domain? Most likely only through bloody slaughter. They have already begun their ruthless retaliation against the 9 flower demon divisions in the demon domain. 10 days ago, the heavenly demon army launched a powerful assault and reduced Taoyuan Valley, one of the 9 divisions, to ashes. With the fall of Taoyuan, the remaining 8 divisions panicked. Currently, they are split into 2 factions. One faction advocates for a straightforward alliance to overthrow the demon emperor's rule. Otherwise, under the rule of the heavenly demons, there will eventually be no place for the flower demons to survive in the vast demon domain. The other faction believes that, even if the 8 flower demon divisions band together, it's tantamount to smashing an egg against a rock in the face of the heavenly demon army, the elite forces loyal to the demon emperor, and the demon sect behind the demon emperor. They see no choice but to offer a pledge and sincerely submit. Otherwise, the root of the flower demons will be severed. Being the sole survivor of Zhanghua Valley, representing those whose families were exterminated, the moon demon naturally cannot accept a surrender plan. However, she's also apprehensive about recklessly making contact with those kind-hearted flower demon tribes, fearing that her involvement might bring catastrophic destruction upon them. That's how things stand. Lin Zaiasu lifted his teacup, took a gentle sip and said, "For you, Moon Demon Fairy, there really is no distinction between war and peace, is there? You're not asking me to make a choice of war or peace for you, are you?" "Of course," the Moon Demon said. "The souls of my 30 million tribesmen in Zhanghua Valley are all watching me. My sole aim in this world is to fight." "Then fight we shall," Lin Zaiasu replied. The Moon Demon looked up suddenly. "Young Master Su, if you're willing to help me, I, Moon Demon, swear by the heavens that I will definitely." Lin Zaiasu interrupted, "No need to swear, I'll help you." Han Yan shuddered all over and lifted her gaze abruptly. The Moon Demon stared at him in a daze. "Master, why are you willing to help me?" "Because I've read many accounts about the demon domain. The stories from 1,000 years ago versus those from 1,000 years later are like night and day. 1,000 years ago in the demon domain, humans and demons lived together. At demon markets, human business magnates gathered, and in human cities, demon maidens danced and sang. The 2 races took what they needed from each other and even intermarried. But in the demon domain 1,000 years later, everything changed. The demon domain has become a place where strangers are unwelcome, while in human cities, demons are met with fear. I really like the demon domain of the past and do not like how it is now." "Just because, Master, you like the demon domain of the past and dislike it now." The Moon Demon was slightly bewildered. Can decisions of such gravity really be made based on like and dislike? "What else could it be? Do you expect me to say it's because I like you all that I'm doing this?" Lin Zaiasu laughed. Both women were momentarily stunned. "Ahem," Han Yan spoke. "Could you maybe drop a word from you all? I'm right here, you know." "Ha ha." Lin Zaiasu laughed. The 2 women laughed too. Though their laughter was somewhat reserved, it was laughter nonetheless. Lin Zaiasu chuckled. "This atmosphere, I like it. Let's keep things easygoing. Moon Demon Fairy, can you tell me about the Demon Emperor's military strength?" The Moon Demon felt a bit flustered. With that joke, the atmosphere relaxed considerably, but it also made his vow seem somewhat like a joke. She felt uncertain. However, he did ask about the Demon Emperor's military strength. She composed herself and began speaking. The Demon Emperor's military might mainly comprises 2 major components. First are the 3 heavenly demon teams, Each team consists of 10 million heavenly demons, and the leaders are all at the level of a great demon king, which equates to the first realm of Tao in human cultivation terms. These teams are extremely formidable, especially within the heavenly demon palace, where the demon emperor array resides. The array can unify the entire force, integrating millions of heavenly demons into one, and its power can rival that of Jai-san. Chapter 866, Chapter 698, A Song Over the Little Town, Part 4. Just these three heavenly demon teams are enough to sweep across the entire demon domain. There are also true experts within the Demon King Palace. Countless demon kings equivalent to the Enlightenment realm, and a top-level elder council at the great demon king level equivalent to the first realm of Tao wielding, numbering in the hundreds. The demon emperor himself is of the demon emperor level, equivalent to the cultivation of the second realm of Tao wielding. Additionally, there is a permanent elder of the demon sect in the Demon King Palace, who is also a top-level elder of the demon sect, with cultivation in the second realm of Tao wielding. She finished speaking, feeling somewhat dispirited, because these numbers alone can crush a person's confidence. Lin Ziasu nodded gently. The two core forces, the problem isn't that complicated. The two women were simultaneously taken aback. This isn't complicated. How complicated do you want it? As for the moon demon, let's not mention it. She has no way at all. Her combat strength is at most mid-stage 1 vow, not even at the late stage. Even though she is an unusual flower demon and has specialized in the moon soul demon technique, breaking through the limits of flower demons and comparable to heavenly demons, she is ultimately only mid-stage great demon king, equivalent to mid-stage human clan, 1 vow. In the opposing camp, there are at least 100 individuals with cultivation equal to hers. Even Han Yan actually has no way. Despite her origins from the heavenly capital. Despite heavenly capital's strength far surpassing the demon sect. However, this world has game rules. 1 abyss, 3 sects, 6 paths, 9 gates, especially needing to follow the rules. Heavenly capital emphasizes immortal nature, and heavenly capital never intervenes in worldly affairs. For ordinary small sects, it doesn't matter much. Just making a casual announcement, if their sects aren't foolish, they would obey, which doesn't count as interfering with other sects. However, facing the demon domain, even heavenly capital is beyond reach. Your influence is unparalleled in the world, but in the demon domain, the local manager trumps the county official. You cannot match the demon sect. You directly interfere with the internal affairs of the demon sect. You still disregard the demon sect among the 6 paths and 9 gates. Therefore, even if she is the second saintess, even though she clearly possesses enormous power that could change everything, she still has no room for action in this matter. She eagerly hoped to see this Marquis Zui from Jiangnan demonstrate unparalleled flair on the Jiangnan road, allowing the beings in the demon domain to experience the roller coaster of emotions she once did. But this guy seemed too indifferent, listening carelessly, making irresponsible statements. What do you mean, it's not that complicated? How about this? I'll help you clear the 3 peripheral heavenly demon teams first. Lin Ziasu stood up. Clear, the moon demon abruptly stood up. You take action. Han Yan also suddenly stood up. Yes, the festival is approaching. Consider it a New Year's gift for you, Lin Ziasu said. Han Yan was dumbfounded on the spot. Is this guy trying to flirt with the moon demon? Or is he continuing his unreliable behavior from today? She has seen gifts being given. No matter what kind of gift, she wouldn't find it strange. But clearing out 3 heavenly demon teams as a gift. Each heavenly demon team has over 10 million demons. Consolidating over 10 million heavenly demons is comparable to the Jai-san. Altogether 30 million in the teams. Do you think it's as easy as eating 3 pieces of tofu? The moon demon took a deep breath. Sir, what would you like me to prepare? Just say the word. Prepare? Sure, you can prepare a pot of good wine, a few dishes. The moon demon was dazed. Sir, by wine and dishes do you mean? Wine and dishes mean wine and dishes, don't overthink it. Lin Ziasu said, I'm off. With a step under the yin-yang step, formless and vanishing. The 2 women in the pavilion looked at each other. For a long while the moon demon softly exhaled. Little sister Han, do you think the wine and dishes he mentioned are really ordinary? Han Yan gently shook her head. Judging by his tone, it seems ordinary, but given the current situation, I can't quite figure out if it's ordinary or not. He's alone tonight. without the heavenly suppressing team, can his array still be used? Even if there is an array, it can't deal with the heavenly demon teams. The demon emperor array of the heavenly demon team is the treasured artifact of the demon sect. The moon demon said, "It's a pity it's not nighttime yet, otherwise I could use the moon as my eye to watch and see what exactly will happen." Chapter 867, Chapter 699, A Willow Leaf, a Flag. Night falls. The snow has not stopped. However, the music from the moon demon's hands begins to play. Moon Sacrifice Song. As the moon sacrifice song begins, a chasm suddenly opens in the sky's dark clouds. Within the opening, above the firmament, there lies a curved crescent moon. Today is the 25th of the 12th lunar month. The moon is no longer full, only a crescent. The crescent moon, too, is her eye. Using music to summon the moon, using the moon as her eye, where the moonlight reaches, her sight follows. She wants to see how his boast during the day will end. The moon's eye casts a projection into the cup of tea before her. Within the teacup, the scene of the sky-splitting gully is vividly displayed. Sky-splitting gully, the closest station of the three heavenly demon teams to this place. Nothing out of the ordinary. The gigantic palace leisurely spins in the sky. Below it is the vast expanse of military flags stretching for hundreds of miles, with countless heavenly demons circling back and forth. Those are the four-winged and five-winged demon eagles, a direct lineage of the demon emperor. So every scout army of the heavenly demon army is made up of demon eagles. Monitoring other heavenly demons below, like the tiger demon army with human heads and tiger bodies exuding an awe-inspiring aura, the giant python army with human heads and snake bodies in the valleys, the demon ape army with unusually tall bodies in the forests, and the demon bee army with 3-foot-long spikes on their foreheads, glinting cold in the moonlight. Only a demon with explosive battle prowess is worthy of being a heavenly demon. These demons are exceptionally energetic. Having no battles to fight, they never idle. Hanyan stared at the water surface of the teacup where there was nothing unusual, her brow quietly wrinkled. Did he just utter a boast and then leap out of the circle of trouble, vanishing without a trace? The moon demon cast a gaze toward her. Based on your knowledge of him, is he really that kind of person? On his travels to Jiangnan, he certainly kept his word, but that was then and this is now. The demon domain has nothing to do with him. Even if he did vanish without a trace, it could be understandable, perhaps in the eyes of the wise. It's knowing the right time to. Her voice abruptly ceased. The moon demon's gaze fell sharply, her heart skipped a beat. There seems to be movement. Within the heavenly demon palace of the sky-splitting gully, a general clad in black feather armor suddenly raised his head. In the sky, a sword suddenly flew in. As this sword appeared, the entire space before him transformed completely. The sky-splitting gully vanished. The heavenly demon army disappeared. There was only a single space, and in the space, there was only a sword. The general's face changed drastically. Space Sword Tao, Kangyuan Liu. Thud. A sword fell. This general, whose cultivation had reached the realm of mastery, was split in two. In a small town, in a small garden. Before the teacup, Han Yan and the moon demon simultaneously sprang up, their faces instantly flushed red. That sword they were all too familiar with. Just over half a month ago, on the brothel of Gui City, they had seen with their own eyes such a sword piercing down from the sky, killing a second elder of the demon sect, killing the 19th son of the demon emperor, and cutting the eternal Fujung lotus in half. The aftermath of that sword still lingers over Lu Lake, blocking the merging of its waters. The grandeur of that sword also left an imprint in the hearts of all in the demon domain. It more deeply imprinted on the minds of the cultivation heavenly prides, who witnessed it with their own eyes. Kangyuan Liu suddenly targeted the heavenly demon army. With just one sword, he beheaded a general already at the realm of mastery. Why? Could it be? Is it him? Is he also someone from Kangyuan? Han Yan's heart raced wildly. This was the only explanation she could think of. During the day, facing an impossible task like the extinct heavenly demon team, Su Lin handled it with ease, lightly saying, "Consider it a New Year's gift for you." Then he disappeared. At night, Kangyuan Liu's sword descended from the sky, beginning a decapitation operation against the heavenly demon team. It could only be this explanation. Kangyuan Liu was invited by him. No wonder he needed no preparation. Just because of this helper, what miracles could not be created? All the blossoms on the moon demon's face were in full bloom. You've also said, his origin is a mystery, seeming to suddenly appear in the great wilderness dynasty, suddenly rising with means that are supreme. Perhaps this is the answer. She did not explicitly state the answer. But those who understand, understand. With Han Yan's status and insight, she would not be unfamiliar with the true top heavenly prides on the path of cultivation in the world, because the platform where she stands is the highest. However, when she observed Su Lin, it was like viewing flowers in a mirror. Only one possibility could create such a suddenly rising, young heavenly pride. That is, he Su Lin comes from the one of the cultivation path spanning millennia, Kang Yuan. Now this may already be confirmed. Because the 8th member of the Kang Yuan 13 heavenly gang, Kang Yuan Liu, drew the sword for him. He has appeared, the moon demon exclaimed softly, pointing at the surface of the teacup. In the water surface of the teacup, the projection of the heavenly demon palace is shown. With the sword descending, countless people arose. The army was completely stirred. At this moment, a human figure suddenly appeared in the palace. This is a purple figure. Young, dashing, exuding a romantic air, precisely Lin Ziasu. Lin Ziasu extended a hand, grabbing the flag before him. With a shake of the flag, the demon emperor array activated. Once the great array formed, it connected to millions of demon soldiers and generals. What is he trying to do? Han Yan asked. Does he intend to use the demon emperor array to directly control this heavenly demon army? If he actually has this idea, it's extremely dangerous. To attempt to control the great array, the army can break away from the array at any time and turn on him, the moon demon said. Then perhaps it forces him to do something he is very good at. Han Yan's voice was peculiar. What? Chapter 868, Chapter 699, One Willow Leaf, One Flag, Part 2. In the palace, Lin Ziasu lightly turned his fingers, and yin-yang shifted. The third move of the Kainkun breaking array hand, yin-yang replenishment. The array path reversed directly. The demon emperor array, originally meant to transfer energy to millions of the demon army. With this turn it reversed. It turned into reverse plundering. The demon clan always prioritizes simplicity and speed. The energy transfer was incredibly fierce, and the reverse plundering was equally fierce. Boom! It seemed like a wave of destruction swept across the field. Millions of demon soldiers transformed into a mist of blood, their entire energy simultaneously captured by the demon emperor array. The moon demon was dumbfounded, watching in disbelief as millions of demon soldiers were crushed by an invisible giant hand, completely losing her train of thought. Han Yan's voice softly came, annihilation, this is what he's best at. This sentence complements the previous. The demon emperor array, if it could control millions of demon soldiers, perhaps this military strategist would have really kept the army for his own use. However, the demon emperor array can be detached, forcing him to take the ultimate measure. Reversing the array, easily wiping out millions of the demon army. The entire sky-splitting valley turned into an ocean of blood. Countless blood blossoms dyed the sky and land red, though not necessarily red, more accurately multicolored, since not all demon clan blood is red. In the giant dying vat, Lin Ziasu soared into the sky. In the air, a willow leaf killed 3 more commanders, rising with him. He ascended to the heavens, the willow leaf passing by him. A rift seemingly appeared in the sky, revealing another world, and the willow leaf slipped into this space, vanishing without a trace. The 1st battalion disappeared just like that. The whole process took less than the time it takes for half an incense stick to burn. Half an incense stick, an entire heavenly demon army, over 10 million demon soldiers. Is this the method you spoke of? The moon demon's face blushed like blooming peach blossoms. Han Yan, upon seeing this face, was a bit surprised. Oh my sister Yue, why is your face looking so wrong? She took a deep breath. This is the power of the array path. His array skills are unfathomable. With an array, the battlefield is his domain. Using the enemy's array to reverse and kill them is the fundamental reason he annihilated millions of the demon army. Indeed, millions of demons united could contend with Jai-san. In theory, Lin Ziasu couldn't possibly win. However, under no circumstances should you play with the array path in front of him. The array path in his hands can reverse, break, and transform. As long as there is an array, regardless of who arranged it, he can control it, producing utterly unexpected results. The Moon Demon said, using the enemy's strongest weapon as his own tool for victory. Such a remarkable man, how did I only meet him today? It's a waste of 1,000 years. Han Yan's eyes widened in shock as she looked at her. Sister Yue, have you fallen for him? The Moon Demon not only flushed in the face but seemed to exude a wine aroma, her eyes glancing sideways. No way. Look at this expression, no way. Isn't it clear there is? Sister Yue, he's my enemy and I'm kindly helping you. You can't do this, right? How can little sister bear it? Han Yan was distraught. Stop fooling around, look. The Moon Demon felt quite embarrassed, but her teacup came to her rescue. In the teacup was the second heavenly demon army, located 1,000 miles away at Donghuan Lake. A sword came through the void without any warning. The marshal of the Tao sitting in the palace perished. Exactly the same reversal and kill with the array. In less than a quarter hour, a purple robe floated up. A willow leaf pierced the sky. In the small garden, the two women were completely stunned. Half an hour later on the third army, the same scene appeared. The three heavenly demon armies could sweep the entire demon domain. But in less than 2 hours collectively, they were annihilated. All scenarios exactly alike. A sword breaking the void, first taking the leader, Lin Ziasu appeared, wielded the military flag, utilizing the demon emperor array, initiated a 1 against 10 million counterattack. No battle in the world has been like this. In history, never before. But tonight, on the land of the demon domain, it vividly played out. So fast, the information couldn't be relayed in time. The decisiveness in killing, almost as the grass was cut, it removed the roots. This is actually complementary. If they had relaxed the timing a bit, the second army knowing the first's plight, they would have been prepared. If they detached from the demon emperor array, Lin Ziasu could never have consecutively decapitated 3 armies so smoothly. Unfortunately, the heavenly demon army's discipline was too strict, their connection to the demon emperor array too tight, and they were too arrogant, never thought someone would dare to strike at them on the demon domain's land. All impossibilities, all incredibilities, collectively enabled Lin Ziasu's triple consecutive strike. The last army's blood mist still drifted in the air, as Lin Ziasu took 1 step through the sky, appearing 100 miles away, then another step, another 100 miles. An hour later, he traversed 10,000 miles of territory, returning to the small town. In the small town, snow continued to fall. White snow covered the vibrant peach blossoms on the tree, revealing a hint of red. Lin Ziasu smiled, descended from the void, landing outside the small pavilion, the Moon Demon and Han Yan with mouths half opened, staring at him in complete disbelief. Fairies, I have fulfilled my promise. 3 armies turned to dust. I wonder if tonight's meal and drinks are fully prepared. Ah, the Moon Demon suddenly jumped up. This girl will do it. She ran out, completely forgetting about the food and drinks she mentioned. Lin Ziasu sat down in front of Han Yan, poured himself a cup of tea, and added water for Han Yan, lightly raising his teacup towards her. Newly brewed green ant wine, small red clay stove, evening snow is coming, can you drink a cup? Chapter 869, Chapter 699, One Willow Leaf, One Flag, Part 3. The fresh little poem fell into Han Yan's ears, and also into the Moon Demon's ears, who was busy preparing wine and dishes behind. The Moon Demon's hand trembled slightly, and she felt a bit weak all over. Is this the human heroes? With a wave of his hand, 30 million troops turned to ashes. With a step graceful and sublime. A new poem truly refreshing to the core. This blend of grace and majesty, how can it not make the heart race? Han Yan's gaze lightly swept over the obvious discomfort in the Moon Demon's back, and softly uttered 3 words. Is this wine? Haha, just reminding Moon Demon Fairy, for fear she might forget the wine. The Moon Demon's mind was in turmoil again. Oh my, I did forget, where's the wine? It seemed to be in her heart. She felt she was already drunk, drunkenly confused. Han Yan lifted the teacup, sighing lightly. I finally understand why you dare to go to Jiangnan. Lin Ziasu raised his teacup, suddenly stopped. What do you mean? Han Yan said, standing behind you is Kangyuan Liui. Where in the world would you not dare to go? Lin Ziasu's face suddenly changed. You are spying on me. The voice was calm and serious. Han Yan said, oh, from your expression, are you thinking of killing me to silence me? Lin Ziasu let out a long breath. If you were anyone else I might really have to kill, but you, I just can't bear to. Han Yan curled her lips. Don't speak such mad words, you merely figured it out yourself. Your extermination of the three armies, the demon sect will ultimately have a way to discern some traces. Some things can't be hidden. Lin Zaya-Asu forced a smile. Hide? Who said I must hide? Who doesn't have a few bodhisattvas standing behind them? Doesn't Han Yan have someone behind her? The people behind me, are they unspeakable? With Kang Yuan as a support, who dares say unspeakable, Han Yan said. But now your majesty will have to reconsider. Consider what? Han Yan said. Consider whether he has the confidence to control you, whether he dares to give you more favors. Isn't that thinking too much? Lin Zaiasu's face truly relaxed. Even if he wants to give me more favors, do you think he has more favors to give me? Han Yan lightly nodded. Indeed, even if he really thinks he can control you and is willing to give you more favors, it seems there's no more room for granting favors. Now, you are the great wilderness snow robe marquis. If he grants more favors, it could only be conferring a king's title. A snow robe king's conferment would likely result not in a white robe but in the blood clothes of the Man clan from the great wilderness dynasty's Han family. Ah, cold fairy, in the past you seemed gentle and refined, but today you are quite harsh. Gentle and refined depends on the person. On that day, I was gentle and refined in front of you, but in return got battered and bruised all over. Do you think I should fall for the same trap again? Damn, this is a conversation that cannot be had. Moon Demon Fairy, come out. I can skip the wine and dishes, skip the meal. I just want you to chat with me. The Moon Demon floated out, unable to hide the smile in her eyes. So, you two are indeed rivals. Just now we're fine. How come you started opposing each other again? The wine was served. It was the Demon Clan's 100 Flowers wine. The dishes were served. It was a homemade stir-fry she personally made. Lin Zaiasu drank 7 or 8 cups. Flower Demon accompanied him for 7 or 8 cups. Han Yan buried her head in eating and had 3 big bowls. After the wine and dishes were finished, Moon Demon handed over a cup of clear tea. Young Master Su, you have done such a dangerous thing for little me. The storm is approaching. Is there a secure way to deal with it? In the human clan world, there's a classic saying, attack is the best defense. Lin Zaiasu said. Attack? Moon Demon was shocked. With the 3 heavenly demon army destroyed, the demon emperor will surely be furious. To prevent his anger from harming the innocent, we quickly and decisively destroy the demon king palace, and then we won't need to worry about how to deal with his revenge. Their eyes both suddenly lit up. Tonight, the 3 heavenly demon armies were wiped out, decisively ending the demon emperor's rule. This, of course, is the best way to prevent the demon emperor's revenge. But who in their right mind could achieve this? Yet he might be able to. Because behind him, there is a willow leaf. The Moon Demon's lips trembled. That person is willing to make a move again. She meant, of course, Kang Yuan Liu. Lin Zaiasu shook his head lightly. This matter is somewhat sensitive. No matter who, there are always some things that are inappropriate for one to personally take action. The excited expression on the Moon Demon's face slowly faded. She understood. She could also accept. Kang Yuan Liu, after all, is one of the Kang Yuan 13 heavenly gang. Every move represents Kang Yuan. Killing a few people in the mortal world is nothing, but directly destroying the Demon King Palace is a different matter. The Demon King Palace is the demon sect's emblem in the world. It represents the face of the demon sect. The demon sect is one of the top tier, 6 paths 9 gates. If you directly remove the emblem they have in the mortal world, that signifies Kang Yuan formally taking action against the Demon King Palace. The 19th major forces are the foundation of the whole world. Direct actions by the 2 superpowers would cause quite a stir. Thus, Kang Yuan Liu making a move to kill the generals of the 3 armies is possible, but direct action to remove the palace is not. This reasoning, Moon Demon understood very well. But what to do? She was out of ideas again. Lin Zaiasu said, we will do this ourselves. Moon Demon's gaze suddenly lifted, her eyes filled with excitement again. Moon Demon Fairy, can you summon 108 people? Lin Zaiasu asked. 108 people? What level of cultivation? Moon Demon was a bit nervous. The Demon King Palace has hundreds of Vice Ones and 2 Vice Twos. There are also many Demon Emperor's personal guards. Speaking of 108 people, theoretically they should have the realm of mastery. Chapter 870, Chapter 699, One Willow Leaf, One Flag, Part 4. The requirement isn't exactly high. But the problem is, she really doesn't have the capability to gather 108 holding the way. Even if all 8 flower demon divisions were rallied, they still couldn't gather 108 holding the way. At most, there would be 20-some, and that's if the 8 divisions were completely united. But in reality, half of the flower demon divisions are on the surrendering side. Calculating this way, the most she could gather would be 12 or 13 people. The gap is just too wide. Enlightenment realm, Lin Zaiyasu said. Enlightenment, the moon demon trembled all over. Han Yan gazed at him intensely, her chest slightly heaving, clearly equally excited. Lin Zaiyasu said, yes, to ensure the effect it must be enlightenment. If there's even one person below that realm, the effectiveness will be quite diminished. The moon demon was speechless, unable to respond for a moment. What he wanted was enlightenment. Just enlightenment. For her, gathering 108 enlightenment was quite simple. With the full power of Feihua Valley, she could easily muster that number, and the wife of the Feihua Valley master is her own sister. She was absolutely confident she could gain the full support of Feihua Valley. But what could 108 enlightenment do in the face of the Demon King Palace? At last Han Yan spoke, uttering 3 words, "Is it an array?" An array. The moon demon's heart directly accelerated. Lin Zaiyasu smiled. On Jiangnan Road, many people have been guessing whether I Su Lin could set the circulation array. It's time to give them the answer. Moon Demon Fairy, gather the people tomorrow before sunset. I hope all of them will be here. The Moon Demon abruptly stood up. I guarantee it. Lin Zaiyasu laughed. I'll borrow your boudoir, don't think crooked, okay? As soon as he finished speaking, he stepped into the room connected to the red pavilion. The door immediately closed. Han Yan stared at the door, taking a deep breath. Circulation array, is it possible? The Moon Demon did not answer, because Han Yan's question was one that no one in the world could answer. The circulation array, its reputation was too terrifying. Even in the past, the ancient array sect required the united strength of the entire sect to set the circulation array. And it was precisely the great terror of the circulation array that triggered the fear of all the top-tier sects, including the heavenly capital. Even some said, even Kang Yuan felt the pressure of the circulation array. The accumulated pressure eventually led to antagonism against the ancient array sect from the top-tier sects. The demise of the ancient array sect, frankly speaking, was also due to being a tall tree that invites winds. Think about it, the circulation array, which caused the top forces of the ancient great world to fear, leading to the end of the ancient array sect's lineage. How could it be ordinary? The ancient array sect indeed demonstrated the terrifying power of the array under everyone's nose, sacrificing the whole tribe, forcefully pulled the 500 miles of mountains and rivers it was situated in away from the ancient world. Even Kang Yuan could not cross this circulation barrier. Such an array, can he set it? Regardless, they didn't believe it. However, the man before them believed. That night the snow did not stop. In the Moon Demon's boudoir, Lin Zaiyasu began to carve array patterns. He took over 200 array crystals. Several sets of array formations flowed through his mind. His finger lifted, and the fingertip held the 5 elements power, but as he was about to carve, he paused. The circulation array is divided into small circulation and grand circulation. He knew about the array map only for small circulation. And the small circulation array achieved the goal of destroying the Demon King Palace. He wasn't so sure. Why not play it big? Just treat it as an experiment. Deciding on action, Lin Zaiyasu projected behind him an image. It was the Earth in space. This was his unique rule shadow. The power flowing out from his fingertips was no longer the 5 elements power, but the Heavenly Tao 7 techniques. Using his finger as a pen, using the Heavenly Tao 7 techniques as ink, he drew a small circulation array. This was a compromise. It's not called small circulation, nor is it called grand circulation. It's called big circulation small array or the big circulation reduced version. This kind of neither fish nor fowl array, if the sect master of the ancient array sect saw it, he might laugh and cry, not knowing whether to be astonished or disdainful. Astonished that the most difficult part of the grand circulation array, the use of Heavenly Tao 7 techniques, could be completed by one person without the collective force of the entire sect. Disdainful that despite managing the hardest part, it was applied to a low-grade reduced version. Like what, exactly? Using extraterrestrial technology to forge a pig-killing knife. Chapter 871, Chapter 700, Big Circulation Small Array. The intricate patterns of the late night in the boudoir, the endless charm in the small garden, will be set aside for now. Let's talk about the aftermath of the destruction of the three great heavenly demon armies. In the Demon Emperor's palace, news arrived. The Demon Emperor's eyes widened, and behind him, an ancient star river suddenly appeared, with his eyes resembling two ominous stars within this star river, carrying an indescribable sorrow, carrying infinite shock. As his form moved, he transformed into an 8-winged demon eagle soaring into the sky, all the snow and wind instantly disappearing, landing on the highest cliff of sky-splitting valley. Upon seeing the disarray of the military flags below, the devastated battlefield, and smelling the blood fog not yet fully dispersed in the north wind, the Demon Emperor let out a long howl towards the sky. A powerful shockwave descended from the sky, reducing a high peak to ashes. This was the wrath of the Demon Emperor. Under his seat, three great heavenly demon armies were annihilated. It meant that his main force, which had been conquering the demon domain with great power, had been reduced to nothing. Annihilating three great heavenly demon armies in an instant, a cold voice came to his ear. "I want to see what force has intervened." As the voice fell, a mist expanded strangely, within which appeared a mirror. This person was the top-level Elder Fog Demon, who resided in the Demon Emperor's palace, and this mirror was an exotic treasure on the space-time path, the Tracing Mirror. The power of the Tracing Mirror was akin to Lin Ziyasu's time-space reversal. Two supreme powerhouses of the Demon Emperor level employed the Tracing Mirror to trace back to the source. No matter how complicated the dilemma, it could be solved. Once they solved the mystery, whoever it was would face the wrath of the demon sect and the Demon Emperor's palace. However, within the Tracing Mirror, a Kanyuan leaf descended through space. Both supreme powerhouses tensed up. Kanyuan Liui, the Demon Emperor's throat emitted a low growl. This growl was so suppressed. It could not shake the mountains and rivers, but only his own being. Kanyuan Liui, it's actually him, Fog Demon said. The trouble caused by the 19 Prince has indeed lingered. That rebellious child, if he hadn't died on the spot, I would have shattered him into pieces. The Demon Emperor gritted his teeth. Wait, the person at the Demon Emperor array platform, who is it? As his voice fell within the Tracing Mirror, in the Demon Emperor's palace, a purple figure was suspended in the void. Your Majesty, behind the two giants, unbeknownst to anyone, a large group of demons appeared. Among them, an elder-looking person stepped forward in the air, bowing. This person, old servant knows, is a newly rising young man from the Great Wilderness Dynasty, named Su Lin, known externally as a direct disciple of the ancient sect. Just recently went to Jiangnan in the Great Wilderness Dynasty, making a significant name there, and was titled as Marquis Zui of the Great Wilderness. Because of his status in the ancient sect, Old Servant was concerned about his influence on this domain, and thus investigated thoroughly, reaching an astonishing conclusion. There is no such direct disciple in the ancient sect. His status as a direct disciple is also fabricated. As for whether he is an ordinary disciple of the ancient sect or purely fabricated, it is temporarily unknown. This elder of the Demon Emperor's palace was in charge of external intelligence. He was also an elder demon with great responsibility towards the demon clan. The demon sect and the ancient sect were in opposition. The demon domain and the ancient divine ruins were in opposition. So whenever a stunning genius appeared from the ancient divine ruins, they would do their homework like Gu Suixin, who was personally dealt with by the Demon Emperor Princess, breaking his divine demon sacred body under his design. Facing Su Lin, it was the same. Su Lin's external identity was that of a direct disciple of the ancient sect. Having shown extremely formidable sect combat experience in the Great Wilderness Dynasty, naturally drew the attention of the demon sect. Upon investigation, there was indeed no such direct disciple in the ancient sect. But the ancient sect was too vast. The situation of the ancient divine ruins was too complex. He couldn't directly ascertain. Upon these words, everyone behind was dumbfounded. Su Lin appeared in Gui City half a month ago, argued with the 19 Prince in a brothel that day. Then Kangwu appeared, peering at the 19 Prince closely, enraging the 19 Prince, leading to the subsequent appearance of Kanyuan Liui. Another elder added. The Demon Emperor's heart pounded. Although his mind wasn't particularly clear, he could still piece together the chain of events. Fog Demon, however, was much smarter than him. instantly connecting all the dots upon hearing. Su Lin, if the ancient sect identity is fabricated, then there must certainly be an even more shocking identity existing, combining with Kang Yuan Kangwu's efforts for him, Kang Yuan Liu's 4 actions for him. This person's identity is self-evident. The room fell silent. Everyone felt a kind of suffocation and extreme oppression. 3 great heavenly demon armies had been annihilated. Originally, anyone's intervention would have been forcefully suppressed by the demon sect and the demon emperor's palace, with tenfold and hundredfold retaliation. However, the discovered perpetrator turned out to be Kang Yuan. Kang Yuan, how do you retaliate? Don't mention just a demon emperor's palace. Even if your entire demon sect dared to retaliate against Kang Yuan, you must be prepared to be exterminated. Your Majesty, let's return to the palace. Fog Demon exhaled a long breath. After this seat reports comprehensively to the Lord, we'll make a decision. Return. The demon emperor soared up, heading back to the demon emperor's palace. This was the reaction on the demon emperor's side. The reactions from various parts of the demon domain were more intense. In the northern domain Yin Demon 13 divisions, dark clouds gathered, black holes interspersed in the deepest black hole, several pairs of eyes lit up simultaneously, lacking the usual sinister horror, only filled with terror. Kang Yuan directly annihilated the 3 great heavenly demon teams. Exactly, clan leader, the sky of our demon domain seems to be changing. The 19 prince that sentence that day, it's that sentence that caused the disaster. A long sigh came from the depths of the darkness. He said he wanted to gather the heavenly demon teams to annihilate Kang Yuan, so Kang Yuan targeted his heavenly demon team specifically. That fool. Chapter 872, Chapter 700, Big Circulation Small Array. Suddenly, the news spread everywhere. The loyal lackeys of the demon emperor were all flustered. However, in the Kang demon 8 tribes, the scene was different. Everyone was full of joy and surprise. Even the 4 tribes that had initially decided to surrender to the demon emperor were delighted. The elder and the clan leader exchanged glances, uncertain about the truth, but the cheers of the ordinary clan members outside couldn't be suppressed. Yes, they were planning to surrender. But it was the only option left. If Kang Yuan really acted and destroyed the demon emperor, why should they endure the condemnation of conscience and morality? Why should they face the wrath of the clan people? Why should they make this difficult and unwanted move? There was only one valley, Feihua Valley. The blooms in Feihua Valley were abloom with glee, because a unique flower demon entered Feihua Valley. Moon Demon. The Moon Demon directly met the Valley Master and his wife, her older sister. Brother-in-law sister, the Moon Demon said. Kang Yuan has already made a move. This is a rare opportunity. We must personally act and destroy the treacherous palace, avenging 30 million clan members who were rooted out and avenge the blood feud of the undead. The Valley Master's wife burst into tears. Husband, please give the order. The Valley Master's expression fluctuated. Our valley has only 3 great demon kings. If this step is taken and succeeds, it will be a great achievement for eternity. But if it encounters any trouble, Feihua Valley will be completely eradicated. There is no eternal clan in this world, nor is there a flower that never fails. The wife took a step forward. If you cannot take this step, I will leave Feihua Valley and my sister, and I will face the depths of despair alone. Wife, the Valley Master was greatly alarmed, hurriedly raising his hand to stop her. Please don't misunderstand my intentions. I've long said, if the demon emperor is not destroyed, our Feihua Valley will eventually perish, using dead flowers as live flowers for healing. We must fight for survival with all our resources. I am clear-headed, but we need a plan. Don't worry about the plan for brother-in-law, the Moon Demon said. A heavenly pride in military strategy has already been deployed with a complete plan. He is Su Lin from Kang Yuan. He has a great array that requires only 108 demon kings. The night was long. Snow swept across the wilderness. The night was also short, only lasting between the opening and closing of a door. Next morning, as Lin Ziasu opened the door, the eyes of the 2 women outside were sparkling with intense excitement. Are you ready? Lin Ziasu stared at the Moon Demon. The Moon Demon gently nodded. You mentioned 108 demon kings. I've prepared 216 just in case. Well done, Lin Ziasu said. Here are 216 array crystal pillars. Split them into 2 groups to form 2 arrays. If any changes occur, adjust promptly to ensure flawless execution. The moon demon held the array crystal pillars he handed over as if holding Mount Tai. When to activate? The sooner the better. Then tonight. Good. At night, snowflakes danced in the air. Above the towering palace of the Demon Emperor's palace, demonic aura surged into the sky. But above the clouds, there was another scene. Standing on a petal that resembled a white cloud were 4 people: Lin Zaiasu, the moon demon, the Feihua Valley Master, and the Valley Master's wife. There were 108 similar clouds, each hosting a demon king. Each held a crystal pillar, distributed across 108 positions in the sky. Today, they were not the main attackers. They were just backups. If the first group executing tasks below faced issues, they were ready to replace them at any time. The real killer move was about to blossom among the 108 demon kings surrounding the Demon Emperor's palace. Under a crescent moon harsher than last night's, the moon demon's face was extremely tense. "Don't be nervous," Lin Zaiasu's 3 words echoed in her ear. A thread of sound returned from the moon demon. "Young Master Su, it seems we've overlooked something. Even if we succeed, have you considered the reaction of the demon sect?" Yes, tonight's actions targeted the Demon Emperor's palace. No consideration was given to the demon sect. The truly frightening force wasn't the Demon Emperor's palace, but the demon sect. Destroying the 3 heavenly demon teams only angers the Demon Emperor's palace. It doesn't truly affect the demon sect. Now tonight, confronting the Demon Emperor head-on will certainly incite the demon sect. The demon sect, one of the 9 gates in the 6 paths, a peak entity in the world, destroying their earthly base will provoke them. How will they respond? The red lines between superpowers are not to be recklessly crossed. Take the reincarnation sect in the past. Even facing the heavenly capital, wasn't there a direct conflict? The reincarnation saintess even killed the Tiandu saintess directly. It shows that if you don't touch an opponent's core interests, there can be mutual respect. But if you do, even if you're an important figure in Kangyuan, they can still kill you. "Rest assured," Lin Zaiasu said. "Can I truly rest assured?" the moon demon asked. "Yes, you can." Lin Zaiasu gently raised his hand, and suddenly a crystal pillar in his palm lit up. This crystal pillar was the key to initiating the array. First-time application of the Great Zhou Heaven Small Killing Array, Lin Zaiasu was cautious. He personally lit it. The Great Zhou Heaven Small Killing Array buzzed into action. Upon activation, it covered the Demon Emperor's palace. A gentle hum sounded. The snowfall vanished, replaced only by a bluish space. The golden glow of the heavenly yin-yang chaos array was absent. What existed was a ray of blue light from the dawn of creation. Under the blue light, the Demon Emperor suddenly raised his head. His head raised, he was shocked. At the highest palace roof, hundreds of demon kings suddenly appeared enveloped in blue light. Their faces simultaneously changed, filled with disbelief, filled with despair and fear. Chapter 873, Chapter 700, Big Circulation Small Array. Puff! Everything turned into blue fog. The Demon Emperor's wings suddenly exploded. Array! Boom! A thick fog emerged from the ground, transforming into a fog demon. The fog demon's face twisted intensely. Zhaoshan formation. What? The Demon Emperor was shocked. How can there be a Zhaoshan formation in the world? Stop the damn nonsense. Activate the Imperial Palace Great Array now, the fog demon shouted. Buzz! Silver light rose everywhere. The Demon Emperor Array was activated simultaneously. It was like countless silver demon dragons breaking through the air, shooting towards the sky. In an instant, the entire Demon Emperor Palace was completely lit up, enveloped by the Demon Emperor Array. This great array surged towards the thin blue light in the sky, providing everyone with a brief sense of security. However, this sense of security was extremely short-lived. Because as soon as the silver dragons touched the blue light, they suddenly transformed from seemingly real silver dragon states into silver particles, entirely assimilated. Crack! Almost instantly, the 81 array bases of the Demon Emperor Array simultaneously shattered. The Demon Emperor Array completely collapsed. Within the array, blue light emerged, sweeping over. The 300 demon kings at the array platform's control center simultaneously turned into blue blood mist. Over a dozen great demon kings took flight in terror. Their figures could only withstand 3 breaths in the blue light, above before falling with miserable screams. All around the Demon Emperor Palace, in the sky and underground, the blue light grew denser. Wherever it reached, all life forms were entirely wiped out, including their bodies and primordial spirits. In an instant, the renowned demon emperor Forbidden Army was mostly wiped out. The demon kings and great demon kings, who once stepped across the world's winds and clouds with ease, couldn't fly 3 meters high under this great Joe heavenly array. As soon as they touched the layer of blue fog above, they turned into blue blood mist. Regardless of their formidable bodies or astonishing demon arts, it was all useless. In their panic, some tried to flee downward, others tried to bolt outward, but alas, the perimeter was an impenetrable blue ring, closing in from all angles, sky to ground, with no gaps. The clouds above stopped drifting. They seemed frozen. Fehua Valley Master's eyes were wide open, not even a strand of hair fluttered. Moon Demon also had wide eyes, with cheeks flushed peach red like a statue. The 108 Demon Kings, serving as the backup team in the air, all seemed petrified. Zhaoshan Great Array. This truly was the Zhaoshan Great Array. Under the array, the illustrious Demon Emperor Palace directly became a fish in a net, and it was a super invincible poisonous net, let alone escaping. Just touching the net's edge would turn one to blue smoke. Not to mention their shock. Lin Xiaosu himself was shocked. My God, so this is how the Great Joe Heavenly Array operates. Heaven's 7 laws act through the array crystal, reverting all creatures in the world under the array to chaos particles. This is the world-destroying formation. He used the Great Joe Heavenly method, but deployed the small Zhaoshan array map. The small Zhaoshan array map is actually insufficient to perfectly exhibit the might of the Great Joe Heaven, only covering the Demon Emperor Palace within a radius of 300 miles. If he possessed the Great Joe Heaven array map, could he not easily erase an entire greater world? No wonder beneath all the heavens, the Great Joe Heavenly Array map no longer exists. This thing is truly defiant of heaven. A fierce roar came from below, pathway. As soon as the 2 words were spoken, a crack suddenly appeared in the blue light beneath the Zhaoshan Great Array. From the crack, 2 figures shot upwards. These 2 were the Demon Emperor and another demon, the size of a super giant demon, the Fog Demon. Moon Demon's face suddenly changed. Second-tier pathway stopped them. Second-tier pathway. It refers to the uniqueness of the second realm of Tao wielding. 1 vow, wind and cloud uncrossable. 2 vows, time unaging. 3 vows, heaven and earth unperturbed. The time unaging of the second vow implies their lifespan is virtually endless. However, it can also be understood as heaven's 7 laws. After all, time is the noblest of the 7 laws. If even time cannot erode them, the other heaven's 7 laws are equally hard-pressed to erode them. They have already wielded the way, and they do so from a mid-tier position, meaning they are the direct enforcers and judicial leaders of the heavenly Tao. Attempting to use the heavenly Tao laws against them sees them possess significant immunity. Thus, they forcibly utilize their strongest cultivation, breaking open a small gap in the Zhaoshan Great Array and forced their way out. The crack was small, so they revealed their true forms, transformed into their strongest battle state, one as the 8-winged Demon Emperor, the other as a giant octopus-like fog demon, desperately squeezing through the crack. Willing to suffer great losses in cultivation, they sought to break the formation and escape. Fehua Valley Master and his wife suddenly raised their hands, and in their hands, 81 giant flowers appeared out of nowhere and pressed down. With a thunderous jolt, the fog demon had barely revealed his head before being forcefully struck back down. Yet the Demon Emperor, a legendary demon emperor descended from the great wilderness with terrifying combat power, was able to squeeze through the gap, sacrificing his bloodied wings and enduring severe wounds. The sound of a zither began. Moon Sacrifice Song. Moon Demon didn't know when he connected to the moon, merging his phantom with the moon. A piercing moonbeam shot through the sky, striking the Demon Emperor heavily. The Demon Emperor let out a long wail, echoing through the heavens. His fierce eyes locked onto Lin Xiaosu's side. There was where Moon Demon's true form lay. Most people would target the moon in the sky, but the Demon Emperor saw her true body at a glance. Suddenly, his blood wings spread wide. A terrifying and devastating aura spread from him as the center, and the Demon Emperor charged forward. The sky trembled slightly, and the moonlight suddenly dimmed. Fehua Valley Master and his wife were greatly alarmed, and the 81 giant flowers simultaneously turned to confront the Demon Emperor. Chapter 874, Chapter 700, Big Circulation Small Array. Boom! 81 giant flowers simultaneously vanished. The Feihua Valley master and his wife let out a muffled groan and fell. The terrifying form of the demon emperor had already reached the moon demon. So it's you, despicable servant, courting death. His sharp claws extended, striking towards the moon demon. It seemed no one could stop this blow. 100 miles away, Han Yan watched with a pounding heart, stepping forward through the void. But even at her speed, it was absolutely impossible to rescue her friend. The attacker was the Demon Emperor. The Demon Emperor is equivalent to the second vessel in the human clan's cultivation world. Even under the damage of the circulation array, losing more than 80% of his cultivation, he was still beyond her ability to contend. Moreover, tonight she was observing as a heavenly capital observer, staying quite far to avoid suspicion. This meant that after the Demon Emperor broke the array, she simply could not intervene in time. At this moment, Lin Zaiasu, next to the moon demon, suddenly enlarged. This expansion transformed him into a giant Tenjang body. Behind him stood an ancient peak. Atop the peak, a solitary human figure. The figure suddenly turned back, also Lin Zaiasu's likeness. Lin Zaiasu's gigantic claw suddenly extended. Whoosh! Strong winds roared, clouds swept across the sky, and the Demon Emperor's entire body fell into Lin Zaiasu's gigantic grasp. The giant grasp suddenly clamped shut. Boom! The Demon Emperor was crushed into a blood mist by him. Lin Zaiasu lifted his gaze, staring at the Demon King Palace below, his expression serene and calm. And behind him, the ancient Dharma form slowly raised its head, gazing toward the heavens. Below, the fog demon Mir Tenjang, away from the edge of the green light circle, suddenly saw Lin Zaiasu's eyes. Though the eyes were calm, they carried a strong killing intent. The fog demon, a top-level elder of the demon sect who resided in the Demon King Palace, unexpectedly felt a sense of fear. Yes, fear towards Lin Zaiasu. In the entire demon domain, when had he ever feared anyone? Yet this young man from the human clan was an exception, because he had just crushed the Demon Emperor to death. And now he was targeting him. If he stepped out of this green light circle, he would certainly meet Lin Zaiasu's strike. If his cultivation was still at its peak, this Demon Emperor-level great power would clearly not fear him. However, after traversing the circulation array twice, his cultivation had diminished one assistant to equals Python code 82%. 82. D by 10/10, and the Demon Emperor had been killed with a single move at his hands. Clearly, the same would happen to him. In an instant, this second vessel giant was in a dilemma. Lin Zaiasu sneered coldly, "Since you're here, don't think of leaving." His hand suddenly extended, reaching into the circulation array. The gigantic hand closed, firmly sealing the fog demon, a giant demon with no physical form within a prison-like grasp, sealing the space law. Chaotic spatial currents were easily deployed, instantly splitting the fog demon into innumerable pieces. His primordial spirit consciousness gradually blurred. At this moment, the circulation array below was closing in. The final batch of various demons, after jumping around for a quarter of an hour in the last gap, all turned into blood mist. A stream of light streaked across the sky, and the Demon King Palace was eerily silent. The palace still stood. Artifacts remained. Even the lights were still on, yet all the demons within, all creatures, were entirely turned into chaos particles. The entire demon city fell into chaos. Countless demons opened windows, leaped into the night sky, or silently appeared outside the Demon King Palace, shocked as they looked at how the palace had turned into a ghost palace. They did not know what had happened. But even the dullest demon knew that an unprecedented, earth-shattering event had occurred. The Demon Emperor had been killed. The Demon King Palace was annihilated. Following the eradication of the three great heavenly demon teams by Kang Yuan the day before, the entire Demon King Palace was wiped out. This era of the Demon Emperor's rule was completely ended. Lin Zaiasu's figure shrank back to normal. He couldn't help but marvel that the ancient battle armor made from the ancient divine vine was truly useful. This was the third reward he received from the ancient divine ruins. What was the first reward? Of course, it was achieving his 7 laws perfection and breaking into the Enlightenment rules. And the second reward? The second reward was a verification. He finally verified his current combat strength. Chapter 875, Chapter 701, Demon sex judgment, earth-shattering conspiracy. The demon emperor broke through the circulation array, expending 80% of his cultivation. Even though only 20% of his battle strength remains, it's still beyond what these three standard great demon kings can withstand, and he crushed them with a single strike. What does this mean? It means that at this moment, his battle strength still surpasses that of a standard great demon king. Great demon kings correspond to the first realm of Tao. Although these three, Feihua Valley Master, his lady, and Moon Demon, are not known for their fighting skills in the state of holding, being stronger than them indicates he is now genuinely capable of competing with those in the state of holding. At long last, the sublime cultivation realm of the state of holding, he can confront directly now. His gaze was suddenly drawn to a pair of eyes nearby. This pair of eyes was now misty with tears. Moon Demon. Moon Demon choked up, saying, "Young master, my parents and relatives, 30 million clansmen tonight should rejoice." Linzaya Asu gently placed his hand on her shoulder. They should be grateful that their daughter has always harbored this wish. "You fulfilled my wish, young master." Suddenly, her voice stopped abruptly. Her eyes filled with fear. A portal suddenly opened in the heavens above. It was a pitch-black portal. Even though the sky at this time was covered with dark clouds and the night was descending, this portal still presented a clear outline with its distinctive black under the dark clouds. As the portal opened, a terrifying demon aura that made people's hearts tremble broke out. The entire demon city fell into dead silence in an instant. The entire world plunged into dead silence in an instant. Even the snowflakes falling from the sky carried terrifying demonic aura, like life-taking snow blades flying in from the demon domain. "Demon Gate," Moon Demon said in a deep voice. Indeed, Feihua Valley Master and his lady came to Lin Ziasu's side simultaneously. Their faces were also devoid of any blood. The wind blew past, and Han Yan appeared, finally arriving. She raised her gaze to the sky towards the Demon Gate, her face similarly without a trace of blood. In the silence, the heavenly clouds rolled, and more than a dozen demon shadows shot out simultaneously, accompanied by a voice as cold as ice. "Dare to destroy my demon destruction palace, whether god, demon, monster, or human, all are." Whoosh! A willow leaf cut through the air, suddenly suspended before the Elder Council, carrying endless killing intent, and more so, the mystical mechanism of spatial division. The voice of the great elder suddenly stopped, and all elders halted simultaneously. On the other side of the swordlight, there were 17 top-level elders of the demon clan. And on this side of the swordlight were Lin Ziasu, along with one man and 3 women beside him. The great elder's pair of demon eyes were firmly locked onto the willow leaf. Liu naturally wouldn't speak, just suspended eerily before him. This is Kang Yuan's willow leaf. This is an unspoken warning from Kang Yuan. Even this great elder, influential over the entire world, facing such an unfeeling willow leaf, had a moment of bewilderment. "Great elder of the Demon Gate, isn't it?" Lin Ziasu stepped forward. "I am Su Lin, Marquis Zui of the Great Wilderness Dynasty." When he spoke, everyone's gaze focused on him, including the billions of beings in Demon City. Indeed, in the demon domain, in terms of numbers alone, they are not of the same quantity as the human clan. A mere Zhanghua Valley has 30 million clansmen, let alone the demon city. Within it, there are truly over 1 billion various demon beings. Thus does Marquis Zui of the Great Wilderness Dynasty formally appear in the demon domain, also accepting the demon stares of the 17 top-level elders of the Demon Gate. "Lord of Great Wilderness," the great elder slowly lifted his gaze from the willow leaf before him, staring at Lin Ziasu. "Coming to my demon domain to destroy my Demon King Palace, don't you think it's too jaw-dropping? My official intent was to forge a good relationship with the Demon Gate, so I destroyed your Demon King Palace and presented it as a meeting gift given to the Demon Gate," Lin Ziasu said. The entire city erupted. Moon Demon and Han Yan exchanged glances, unable to believe their ears. Is this provocation? Destroy the Demon King Palace, presented as a meeting gift given to the Demon Gate. Is this directly provoking the Demon Gate? The great elder's fury surged, directly suppressing his fear of the Kang Yuan willow leaf, and he bellowed, "Kid, you dare provoke the Demon Gate, then?" "Great elder, please hear my official statement in full," Lin Ziasu said. "This Demon King Palace has been completely controlled by the Heart Gate. Nominally, it is your demon gate's portal open to the mortal world, but in reality, it is the most severe infiltration of the heart gate into your demon gate. Your demon gate has been infiltrated by the heart gate numerous times over. If not cleansed within a century, the demon gate will become the outer sect of the heart gate. Based on special feelings for the 8 flower demon divisions, my official action to clean up the portal for your demon gate protects your demon gate's legacy. I hope all elders will not take my goodwill as donkey liver and lungs. A long speech, the entire place quiet as a chicken. The great elder's brows fluttering in the wild wind, an extremely eerie rolling. What basis does the Marquis provide for his statement? The great elder asked, the honorific returned. The demon emperor's primordial spirit still exists. The demon gate should also possess the soul-searching technique. Lin Zaiasu waved his hand. A point of light shot through the air, targeting the great elder. The great elder pointed at the light point, touching it. The point of light turned into the image of an 8-winged demon eagle, indeed the true form of the demon emperor. Speak, are you associated with the heart gate? The great elder's eyes flashed with light, questioning in a deep voice. This is the demon gate's heart-searching technique. The demon emperor answered blankly, yes. The entire city was aghast. Moon Demon's face was flushed with red. Destroying Demon King Palace had been the greatest wish of her life. This young master fulfilled it for her. Beyond fulfillment, she had a deep-rooted concern within, that is, if the demon gate retaliates, whether he could bear it. Chapter 876, Chapter 701, Demon Sect's Judgment, Earth-Shattering Conspiracy. Now comes the counterattack. And he actually told the people of the demon sect that the demon emperor is a lackey of the mental path. If that is truly the case, today's crisis will be immediately resolved. Even if he is ruthless in cleansing the demon sect, the severity of the conflict would definitely drop by 99%. The demon emperor's primordial spirit has now been subjected to soul-searching, and indeed, he revealed this hidden truth. What did the mental path order you to do? The great elder asked, his face ashen. The demon emperor directly replied, the mental path ordered me to provoke conflict with the ancient divine ruins, dragging the demon sect and the ancient sect into a state of perpetual strife. This was to weaken the strength of both sects, while also sending the mental path's dark demons into the demon sect who infiltrate various places, gather the demon sect's secret manuals and resources, and send them back to the mental path. The entire city was in an uproar. It turns out that during this generation's demon emperor's reign, the intense conflict with the ancient divine ruins was part of his actual goals. The conflict itself was something he exacerbated. What he wanted was never peace for the demon domain. He wanted turmoil. Only in such a complex and turbulent situation could the strengths of the 2 top-level powers be consumed, thereby allowing the mental path to reap the benefits. The 17 top-level elders of the demon sect were embarrassed. This was their chosen demon emperor. Originally, they relied on him to stabilize the demon domain, providing them with a steady stream of talent and resources. Who would have thought everything was the opposite? The demon emperor, with the fundamental guiding principle of weakening the demon sect, incited war with the ancient divine ruins, and indeed sent many talents to the demon sect, but were those true talents? They were insiders groomed by the mental path for a special mission. As for the resources, the demon emperor did indeed send many to the demon sect, but in comparison to the demon sect's secret manuals and heavenly materials and earthly treasures that the mental path wanted, what did that amount to? These insider secrets were all laid bare, causing chaos among the billions of the demon clan below. In the sky above, a wave of demon clouds churned through the portal, like a person's emotional turmoil. Finally, the great elder bowed. Lord, the interrogation is complete. Everything awaits your decision. Lord, billions of the demon clan kneeled simultaneously, heaven and earth together in deference. A generation's demon venerable stood behind this portal. At some unknown time, Lin Zaiasu's palm became slightly warm, and a hand was placed into his. It was the moon demon. The moon demon perhaps did not intend to do anything, but she was nervous, because she knew that the person behind this portal was the supreme ruler of all their lives. A generation's demon venerable, one of the 3 executors, truly standing at the pinnacle of this world. Behind that door, a black lotus slowly emerged, seeming both within the door and in some unimaginable distant sky. A voice came, Marquis Zui. The voice was very gentle, yet carried an indescribable eeriness, Lin Zaiasu couldn't even discern whether it was male or female. Perhaps it was unrelated to gender. Lin Zaiasu bowed in midair, sect leader. The demon venerable said, Marquis, having discovered this, you should have directly informed me. Why did you personally act to kill? Lin Zaiasu replied, I wish to inform the sect leader directly, but the demon sect is deeply intertwined, and I am insignificant. How could I bypass the demon emperor and reach the sect leader directly? Furthermore, the mental path acts with great secrecy. I am unaware of whom in the demon sect might be trustworthy. If I accidentally encountered an insider from the mental path, my own life is trivial, but the destruction of the demon sect's 10,000-year legacy would be a regret of the heavenly Tao. The demon venerable said, So, you destroyed the demon king palace just to alarm me. Lin Zaiasu smiled. I naturally know the significance of the demon king palace. By destroying this palace, the sect leader would certainly come in person. The demon venerable sighed deeply. I accept this gesture. Marquis, how about a discussion in our demon sect? As the human new year approaches, I still wish to return to the desert city. When time permits, I will surely visit the demon sect to meet the sect leader. Lin Zaiasu deeply bowed. I take my leave now. Great Elder, see the Marquis off, the demon venerable said. As you command, the Great Elder bowed. No need to trouble the Great Elder, Lin Zaiasu said. The Moon Demon will see me off. The Great Elder was slightly taken aback. Moon Demon, let's go. He stepped forward, the Moon Demon and Han Yan following. In the next step, they traversed thousands of miles through the sky, landing in the small town of yesteryear. The small town no longer needed visiting, but Lin Zaiasu still returned, as if he had a subconscious desire to return to the origin after finishing something. Or perhaps it was unconscious. As the Moon Demon departed, the cold wind took over the small garden. But as she returned, the peach blossom bloomed directly in rage. In an instant, spring occupied every corner of the small garden. Winter was thus isolated beyond the clouds. The water had boiled, the tea fragrant. A cup of tea handed to Lin Zaiasu, the Moon Demon's heart like the spring river water. 3 days ago, she found herself in an unprecedented crisis in this small garden, this small pavilion. But 3 days later, the same garden, the same pavilion, and everywhere was full of spring scenery. The mortal enemy of 30 million clansmen had been avenged. The sword hanging over the heads of the 8 flower demon divisions was gone. This was her life's wish. She thought it impossible to fulfill even if she spent her entire life, but under his service, it was all completed in 2 days. The starting phase was the beginning of a dream, and now that the dream had come true, she seemed to linger there, unwilling to leave. Han Yan's voice seemed to echo in the dream, circulation array, you can truly construct it. This was her greatest shock. Today, she witnessed the array heavenly mechanism in full, and once the circulation array was deployed, the Demon King Palace turned to dust. On Jiangnan Road, many speculated whether Lin could construct the circulation array. Logic dictated it was impossible, but this was what he personally stated, face-to-face with Master Maoyu of Luoyue Temple. Chapter 877, Chapter 701, Demon Sect's Judgment, Earth-Shattering Conspiracy. In light of his past deeds and his straightforward manner that leaves everyone guessing, it has been non-stop speculation about whether he would set up the Zhou Tian Great Formation. But from today onwards, all speculations can come to an end. Because he has set up a formation, annihilating the Demon Emperor's palace. The facts are right in front of us, he can set it up. And it's not particularly complicated. He merely spent half the night on it. Lin Zaiasu gently sighed, holding a teacup. Now you should know that when I went to Jiangnan, it's not as the Jiangnan cultivation path people say, unscrupulous with no limits. At least I still had some boundaries. Indeed, Han Yan had no choice but to admit. When he went to Jiangnan, nearly everyone on the Jiangnan road said he had no limits, being too ruthless with the sex. However, now Han Yan accepts this reasoning. He wasn't particularly ruthless. At least he didn't use the Zhou Tian Great Formation. If on Moon Lake, he had not chosen to compete in the Tao realm with her, but instead used this shocking Zhou Tian Great Formation, would Hanyu Valley still exist? That would be beyond losing some external assets for comparison. That would mean everyone in the sect would not be spared. Including her, her father, and the 3 supreme elder powerful cultivators, all would meet their doom. If in the past one said he could destroy 3 powerful cultivators, Han Yan would coldly believe it wasn't true. But now, she witnessed it firsthand. With 108 enlightenment scriptures enhanced by his great formation, the demon emperor's palace was obliterated. How many great demon kings were in the demon emperor's palace? Over 100. Over 100 who could stand shoulder to shoulder with powerful cultivators, who caused not a ripple. Even the demon emperor, who was on par with the second vessel, escaped the formation but lost half his cultivation. Oh, in his actual combat power. He demonstrated his ancient Dharma form, crushing the demon emperor with a mere gesture. This method is likewise a means beyond the Tao of holding. In summary, people on the Jiangnan cultivation path don't claim injustice. Being defeated by him is not unjust at all, and those Tao giants should not cry injustice either. Your survival is the greatest fortune. For a moment Han Yan fell silent. The moon demon gently raised a hand, placing a tray before Lin Ziasu, filled with the most renowned fruits of the demon clan. Her gaze slowly lifted. To destroy the demon emperor's palace, you truly predicted the reaction of the demon gate. This was her deepest concern arising after the formation took effect. She also mentioned to Lin, who smiled and reassured her, "Rest assured." Now those words, "rest assured," had a clear foundation. Everything was under his control. Lin Ziasu smiled. "Of course," the moon demon said, "because you knew early on this master of the demon city is a lackey of the Zen men. Indeed, I also knew that simply presenting this absolute secret to the demon gate is providing them the best way out." Way out? The moon demon was somewhat perplexed. Lin Ziasu smiled and said, "The demon gate itself is very conflicted about me. As long as they have a path to take, a way out, they won't turn against me." Han Yan's eyes flickered. "Because you have Kang Yuan and Liui behind you, the demon gate is apprehensive." "Indeed," Lin Ziasu said. Han Yan said, "I have a question. The connection between the demon emperor and Zen men is a top secret. Even the demon gate doesn't know it. How did you find out?" As soon as these words were spoken, the moon demon was also highly attentive. Indeed, she was part of the demon domain and had a lifelong enmity with the demon emperor, continually chasing down leads about the demon emperor's issues. However, the entire demon domain was unaware of such explosive news. If she had known earlier, she would have done everything in her power to make an issue of it, even barging into the demon gate, to present this damning evidence to the demon venerable. Lin Ziasu laughed. Certainly the demon emperor wouldn't reveal evidence sufficient to ruin his reputation, but what about Zen men? "Zen men," Lin Ziasu said. "I've taken down 2 heart pavilions. Most of the information in the heart pavilions I've seen. As long as one observes well, is adept at analysis and extraction, useful clues can be discerned from a tangled mess. Moreover, I've personally killed Lei Zhentian Yi Jun and several heart gate elders. The primordial spirit interrogation technique is not only mastered by Demon Gate." The moon demon and Han Yan exhaled together. Perhaps this fulfills the old saying, secrets will eventually be revealed. They thought they explained all their doubts, or thought they deciphered all mysteries. This person was Kang Yuan's man. His methods were Kang Yuan's methods. His information, apart from the materials from Zen Men and Heart Pavilion, perhaps also owed to Kang Yuan's intelligence system. A Kang Yuan identity could explain all his incredible aspects. However, they would never anticipate that Lin Ziasu's Kang Yuan background was indeed false. He had no Kang Yuan background. Throughout, the greatest pressure on the demon gate came from that willow leaf, having no relation to Kang Yuan. This willow leaf, its surname was Lin. It was entirely crafted by Lin Ziasu. Lin Ziasu's heart mirror fully interpreted that sword from Gui City Brothel, a standard of Kang Yuan Liu. In half a month, his empty mist sword already embodied 30% of Kang Yuan Liu's divine charm. Only 30% suffices to mislead everyone. Just because he chose the opportune entry point and began planning from the start. Back then he controlled the 19 Prince, loudly cursing Kang Yuan, and in everyone's eyes throughout the demon domain, they called the 19 Prince foolish. If he was truly the 19 Prince, doing so evidently was foolish, but he was not the 19 Prince. He was Lin Ziasu aiming to disrupt. Such shouting had deep intent.